shortstop from Fresno State, number 1, Eddie Pena. And on the mound tonight for the Settlers from Butler University, number 11, John McCauley.
For the game.
The Settlers are coached by Charlie Poole. He is assisted by Robbie Howell and Michael Sandman.
Is it still under the same thing?
And now it is time for your 2018 Southern Ohio Copperheads, presented by Ohio Health. In center field from Bowling Green, number 22, Ty Sutkin. At shortstop from Lee University, number 2, Thomas Zazzaro. DH tonight from Western Kentucky, number 5, Ray Zuber. At third base from Mississippi College, number 9, Blaine Grimm. And at first base from St. Edward's University, number 25, Blake Hullub. And in right field from Michigan State is number 12, Joe Stewart. At second base from Ohio University, number 35, Noah Weiner. Behind the plate from Michigan State is number 11, Scott Holmes. In left field from Ohio University is number 10, Jack Longo. And on the mound for your Copperheads from Youngstown State, number 8, Dalton Garrett. At this time, we ask that you please rise and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Performing tonight's national anthem is sophomore nursing student John Iskender.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Copperheads fans, it is time. Get on your feet, make some noise, and welcome to the field your 2018 Southern Ohio Copperheads. Tonight's Copperheads starting pitcher is from Youngstown State, number 8, Dalton.
And we are moments away from first pitch here at Bob Wren Stadium in Athens, Ohio for Licking County Settlers baseball here as they visit the Southern Ohio Copperheads. These two teams faced off in game number 1 of this 2018 season. Copperheads got the better of the Settlers 7-2. Licking County actually out-hit the Copperheads 8-6, but 3 costly errors and 6 walks did come back to haunt the Settlers in their opening game as they look to even the score against the 5-1 in first place Copperheads here tonight. Licking County's lineup going down the batting order will be Dylan Ott leading off and playing left field. Batting second, the designated hitter Sam Wilson. Batting third and playing third will be Miguel Pimentel cleaning up, and the first baseman Garrett Roberts. Austin White making his first appearance of this season in center field. Batting fifth, Kaz Sobozic. Batting sixth, playing second. Batting seventh and playing right field will be Turner Hill. Chad Harper will be batting eighth and be behind the plate, and Eddie Pena will be rounding out at short. Defensive alignment for the Copperheads is going to be Longo, Sunken, and Stewart going left to right in the outfield. Around the horn, first to third will be Hullub, Weiner, Zazzaro, Krim, and behind the plate will be Combs. And on the mound today will be Dalton Eric for the Copperheads. He's made 1 appearance this year, has no record, but has a 1.8 ERA in 5 innings of work. So we are moments away from first pitch, and here it comes from Eric, taken by Ott for a strike. First pitch is 5:37 p.m. 5:37 p.m. will be your official start time today. A second pitch fouled down the right field line, and that will be strike number 2 on Ott. So very quickly, he is down to the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Dylan, one of the best hitters so far this year for the Licking County Settlers. Right now, he's hitting just about 500 as he leads this Licking County Settler offense. 0-2 delivery from Eric, swing and a miss, and he is going early on as Ott goes down in 3 straight pitches, and very quickly that is out number 1 for the Licking County Settlers. That'll bring up the designated hitter in Sam Wilson. Sam has also been hot as of late. Sam batting right around 400. Went 7 for 8 in the last series against the Richmond Jazz. So you see his first pitch from Eric, taken low and for a ball. Licking County, of course, splitting that series with the Richmond Jazz. Lost their first game 9-4. It's the second pitch. Taken low once again for a ball. Lost the first one 9-4. Had to lead late, but let it slip away from them once again, as we've seen a couple times this season. And then got a 15-10 win as that ball hammered to the left side. Going to be a tough play for the shortstop, Zaro. He fields and throws, but too late, as that's going to be a base hit for Sam Wilson. He's on in his first place appearance, and the Settlers are on the base paths with Miguel Pimentel coming up, the third baseman, right-handed hitter from Lee University. Started off hot, has cooled off as of late, had a good 3-hit game against Richmond, but was 0 for 4 one of the other games as Pimentel comes in batting just under 300. You remember last time these two teams faced off, Pimentel with the only RBIs in that contest as he hit a towering as he checks that one down the first base line. Going to be a tough play for Hullub as that gets out of play. So 0-1 count here to Pimentel. Miguel in the last appearance against the Copperheads hit a deep fly ball to center field that got out over the 380 sign out there. A little bit deeper here at Bob Wren. It's going to be 340 down the lines and 405 to straightaway center. As the 0-1 from Eric. Swung on, ground to left side once again, and back-to-back base hits through the left side as Miguel Pimentel is on in his first plate appearance. And Settlers threatening here early on as they have runners on first and second. With only 1 out, and that'll bring up the 4th hitter, Garrett Roberts. Garrett Roberts has been turning it on in the last couple series. Hitting right around 333 on the season. 400 on base percentage. Had a big home run against the Lake Erie Monarchs in the last home series. His first pitch from Eric, taken for a ball. Roberts is ahead in the count early on. Roberts, last time these two teams played, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. He struggled in the first couple games, but like I said, really starting to find his groove as he tells his runner, Sam Wilson, to hold as that ball is taken in the dirt. Moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Settlers have been hitting a little bit better as a team lately. They're averaging right around 9 hits per game, so they're getting guys on, just sometimes can't get enough of them in. 2-0 pitch taken outside once again. Moves count to 3 balls and no strikes to Garrett Roberts, the first baseman here today. Wilson over on second, Pimentel over on first, as they look to get to Dalton Eric early on here. That pitch taking 4 straight balls. That'll be a 1-out walk to Roberts, and that will load the bases here for the Settlers.
Now batting from Fresno State.
So Roberts walks, Pimentel single, and Wilson single. It's going to load the bases for Austin White. Austin making his first appearance for the Settlers. Had a little bit of a back issue for the first couple series, but he's getting his first start in the Settler uniform here today in a big spot early on. So he has the bases loaded and only 1 out. His first pitch from Eric misses low and in the dirt. So that'll be 5 straight balls thrown by Dalton Eric, as he looks to be losing a little bit of control here early on. Dalton threw in a 9-8 loss to the Cincinnati Steam. Gave up 5 runs, only 1 of those earned, however. That pitch swung on and missed by Austin. It's going to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So 5 runs, 1 earned, give up 7 hits, had a walk and 3 strikeouts. That'll be the Copperheads' only loss on the season. He got the no decision. That pitch swung out to the right side, could be 2. Weiner fires a second, try to go to first, no throw, as that will get in a run. So Austin White does his job and knocks in Sam Wilson for the first run of the game. Pimentel over to third. Roberts out on the force out at second base. So 4-6 put out on Roberts. White will get on first base with a fielder's choice and also knock him in an RBI, as that brings up Kaz Sobozic. Sobozic, the left-handed hitting second baseman. 1 for 4 last time these two teams faced off. Also drew a walk. That first pitch taken low for a ball, puts the count at 1 ball and no strikes. So Bozic, the Rochester, New York native, at 133 as that pitch fouled straight back, giving the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So Bozic from Rochester, New York, goes to Monroe Community College. He was one of the Tribune's leading hitters this past season. He played in 46 of their games. That pitch taken outside for a ball, moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-1 from Eric. Runner goes on first. Throw down to second base as Austin White slides in safely. So Austin White with his first stolen base of the year. Great jump from him. Combs, the catcher, just a little bit tardy on that throw, and Austin White is in scoring position now. So Kaz Sobozic, big spot, 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. You have Pimentel on third, White on second. 2-2 delivery. Taken high for a ball. So it'll move the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Settlers already 1 run across the board here. Looking to put a couple more. As that pitch grounded to the right side. Hullable fielded at first base and step on the bag for the final out of the inning, but not before the Settlers. 2 hits, score a run here in the top of the first inning. We'll head to the bottom half. Settlers lead 1-0.
24-hour diner where breakfast is served anytime. Located at 70 West Union Street. Make sure to grab a Copperheads program for 20% off your next visit. And now, fans, please direct your attention to Troy and Homer along the third baseline.
All right, fans, I'm over here with Eliza and Henry looking to get Pete in our campus rec, chip it to win it. Each of them is going to have 1 shot to hit their wiffle ball, and the closest one to Homer's feet is going home as our winner. All right, Eliza's up. Let's see what you got. Woo, we'll give you another one. Give another shot. Come on now, you got this. Let's make some noise, guys. Let's hear it up for Eliza. Come on, give it another swing. Give it another one. There it is. All right, Henry, let's see what you got, man. One-handed, and he is going home, our winner. Thank you for our participants in our campus rec chip it to win it promotion, and thank you to the OU Golf and Tennis Center for being a longtime sponsor of your Southern Ohio Copperheads.
On the mound for the Settlers from Butler University, number 11, John McCauley.
Back from Athens, Ohio, bottom of the first inning, Licking County leads 1-0 after Austin White in his first appearance had the RBI fielder's choice. So that'll bring up one of the top hitting lineups here in the Great Lakes Collegiate League. Ty Sunken's going to lead it off playing center. Thomas Zazzaro batting second, playing short. Batting third, the designated hitter Ray Zuber. Batting fourth, playing third is Blaine Krim. Blake Holub will be batting fifth at first base. Joe Stewart batting sixth and right. The second baseman Noah Weiner seventh. And then batting eighth, the catcher Scott Combs. And ending it all will be the left fielder Jack Longos. That pitch taken outside from starting pitcher John McCauley for ball number one. Defensive alignment behind him left to right. That pitch taken outside once again for ball number two. Defensive alignment left to right, Dylan Ott, Austin White, Turner Hill. Around the horn first to third, Roberts, Sobozic, Pena, Pimentel, and Chad Harper. Behind the plate is that pitch taken for a strike. Gonna move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. John McCauley getting his second start today. That pitch misses once again, moves the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. McCauley in his first appearance got a no decision through 6 innings, no runs. That pitch fouled down to the right side, so that'll move the count 2 full. Leadoff hitter Ty Sunken. Gave up 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, no runs. So he got the no decision. And that 7-3 loss to the Galleon Graders. Remember, Settlers had the lead 3-2 in the top of the 9th. Then a 5 spot put up by the Graders pushed them ahead. It's a solid outing from McCauley as he tries to build on that one right here. 3-2 fouled straight back by the center fielder Ty Sunken. Settlers pitching staff has been up and down in the early going. Starters have been given good outings. Bullpen has been a little shaky as that ball grounded to Eddie Pena at short. He fields and fires over to first base as Roberts looked like he might have come off the bag, but he kept his foot on. That'll be a tough out number 1 on the 6-3 ground out. Nonetheless, there is 1 away as that'll bring up the number 2 hitter, Thomas Zazzaro. He's playing short today. First appearance against the Settlers. He went 1 for 3, had a walk, and also a single as he steps in to that right-handed batter's box to face off against the Settler right-handed hurler, John McCauley. Looks like the umpires are converging here. They might be talking about whether or not Roberts was able to keep his foot on the base. It was a tough play for Roberts as the Pena throw went down the first base line. It looks like they're going to call him safe. I believe Sunken had run off the field, so they're going to give an error now to Eddie Pena. Now you see head coach.
I thought it was a bad throw.
Nope, looks like they're going to say he's still out. Not sure what the umpire signals. It looked like he signaled safe. That was the first base umpire, Charles Booth, signaled safe. But now he's signaling out. As you see a lot of confusion from both coaches. They're both on the field right now trying to get an explanation of what just happened. So no error for Eddie Pena. It still remains a ground out after Justin Mann, the home plate umpire, and Charles Booth, the field umpire, converged together and talked about it and kept the same call. So Thomas Zazzaro will be batting with 1 out and nobody on base as that first pitch taken low for a ball. 1-0 pitch. Just misses for a strike. That's going to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. John McCauley went to Butler University. As that pitch grounded to Eddie Pena once again on the backhand. Fires over to first base right to Garrett Roberts, and another 6-3 ground out. That'll put 2 up and 2 down here for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. That'll bring up their 3rd hitter, the designated hitter, Ray Zuber. Ray was 1 for 4 in the first meeting against these 2 teams. He went a double and also a hit by pitch. Southern Ohio boasting one of the best offensive attacks here in this Great Lakes Collegiate Summer League. That first pitch taken low and outside for ball number 1. They average just under 11 hits per game, right around 8 runs per game. So they're getting a lot of production as that pitch misses on the inner half, 2 balls and no strikes. It's about 11 hits per game, 8 runs per game. They got on base percentage right near 400 and bat right around 300. So a solid offensive attack top to bottom here for this team as that pitch lined into right field. Turner Hill is going to come up with it, but not before it hits the ground and rolls right to him. So that will be a 2-out single here for Ray Zuber, as he will stand on first base and wait for Blaine Krim, the third baseman. Batting fourth today, Krim, one of the leading hitters in this league. He actually leads the league in RBIs with 9. So Blaine Krim steps to the plate, batting just under 500. Yes, 500 Blaine Krim is hitting this year. His first pitch he sees from McCauley, taken high for a strike. Blaine from Mississippi College. He's from Mobile, Alabama. McCauley checks over at first base on Zuber as he slides back in safely. Blaine actually played with the Copperheads last season. He's one of their returning players. As that pitch misses inside for a ball, moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 for McCauley. Misses low. That's going to be ball number 3. So after getting the first 2 hitters out, McCauley lets up a single to Zuber. And now behind in the count, 3-0 to Blaine Krim. The 3-0. Grounded to second base. That's going to be Sobozic. He scoops it up, fires over to first base to Roberts, and that will retire the side. So the 2-out single does not come back to halt John McCauley, and we'll head to the second. Settlers lead 1-0.
Party coming up, or maybe just a sweet tooth? Check out Sweetheart's Bakery and Cafe, located at 817 West Union Street, or give them a call at 740-590-2829. Sweetheart's Bakery and Cafe is a full-service bakery full of delicious treats from cookies and brownies to custom cakes. Even better, you can bring in your Copperheads ticket to Sweetheart's Bakery and Cafe and receive 20% off all front-of-house items. Snyder, Fuller, and Stroh is one of the premier financial and insurance firms in the region. If you have any questions regarding your financial, insurance, or employee benefit package, please call Mark Snyder, Jim Fuller, or Dan Stroh at 740-594-8385. Or visit them online at www.snyderfullerstroh.com. That is SNIDERFULLERSTROH.com.
Do it for the Settlers in the top of the second will be Turner Hill, Chad Harper, and Eddie Pena as we get ready to play this second inning. This gloomy and overcast Father's Day Sunday. Of course, happy Father's Day to all the Settler dads out there, the host dads. Happy Father's Day to my dad, Tim, back in Algonquin, Illinois. Hopefully he's watching right now. It's that pitch taken to Turner Hill for a strike. Not sure what else you'd want to be doing on a Father's Day than watching baseball right now. Of course, if you got kids in the game, that ball grounded to first base. That'll be picked up by Holub as he'll step on the base for the 3 unassisted. And very quickly, we have 1 out here in the top of the second inning. That'll bring up the catcher, Chad Harper. Chad did not start last time these 2 teams played. It was Cale Baker, of course, but Chad getting the start today, so we'll see his first action against the Copperheads. Chad batting right around 150 on this early season. That pitch taken low and in the dirt for ball number 1. Chad from Fallensby, West Virginia. Goes to West Liberty University. That pitch fouled straight back. Going to even count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Hilltoppers this year, 21-28. Chad started about half those games. Started 24 games behind the plate. That pitch taken for a strike. Good curveball from Eric. That's going to put him ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to the catcher, Chad Harper. Eric working fast. The 1-2 misses high. I'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harper and Baker have basically been splitting every game. One will start one game, and the next will start the next day. They rest those legs behind the plate. The 2-2 taking good eye from Harper as Eric tried to sneak the curveball by him but missed. Low and outside. That'll move the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good job by Harper working back in the count. The 3-2. Taken for strike number 3. Harper knew it as he turned around and watched that ball go right into the glove of Combs. And that will be strikeout number 2 today for Dalton Eric. We have 2 outs here in the top of the 2nd inning. That'll bring up the shortstop, Eddie Pena. Eddie got the start last time these 2 teams played. He was 0 for 4, so he's looking for his first hit against the Copperheads. First pitch from Eric, taken for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Eddie, of course, from Fresno State University, one of 3 Fresno State players on this Settlers team. That pitch fouled off to the right side very quickly. Eddie down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Of course, Eddie Pena, Oscar Carvajal, now Austin White are our 3 Settler players from California. That pitch just missed the outside corner as Eric was looking for back-to-back strikeouts. That'll move to count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2, taken high for a ball that'll even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eddie walked twice this year. He's hitting just under 200. It was a 2-2 from Eric. Swung on, grounded to the third baseman in Krim. He scoops it up, fires over to first base, and that will retire the side. Settlers go down in order, 1-2-3, as we head to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Settlers lead 1-0.
Now, fans, please direct your attention to Homer and Troy on top of the 3rd base dugout.
All right, fans, we got 3 contestants going against Homer today. We got Kit Kat, Savea, and Madeline competing in our Homer's Hoedown. Let's hear that music. Come on, cheer 'em on, guys. Homer, that's a joke, man. All right, I think that's good. All right, let's make some noise if you think Kit Kat's our winner. And what about Savea? Madeline? And our man Homer. I think Kit Kat might be our winner here. Get it, 1 round of applause for our girl Kit Kat.
State Farm and agent Shauna Stump are proud supporters of Copperheads baseball. Visitor West Union Street office.
Bottom of the 2nd from Bob Wren Stadium here in Athens, Ohio. Do it for the Copperheads. It will be Holub, Stewart, and Weiner as they get their first cracks at starting pitcher for the Settlers, John McCauley. McCauley retired the first 2 hitters in inning number 1, let up a 2-out single, but was able to retire Blaine Krim on the ground out. So 3 outs have been recorded for the Copperheads, 3 ground balls. A good start here for John McCauley in his 2nd start in the Settler uniform, as that'll bring up Blake Holub to the plate. Holub takes his first pitch for a strike. Holub in the first meeting between these 2 teams, 1 for 3, had a double, and also a sacrifice fly. So productive game number 1 for him as he takes that 2nd pitch for a ball, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 from McCauley, laced into center field. Gonna be a tough play for Austin White. It'll get over his head as that one hops the Ohio Bobcat logo out there in left center as White throws that in, and that will be a lead-off double for Blake Holub as the Copperheads look to get on the board here as they trail 1-0. That'll bring up the right fielder, Joe Stewart. He attempts to knock in Holub. Stewart did not get a start in the first meeting between these 2 teams. He's from Portage, Michigan, goes to Michigan State University. He didn't see a lot of action with the Spartans this season, only appeared in 2 games, only had 2 ABs. As he sees his first pitch from pitcher John McCauley, fouled that straight back. McCauley gets ahead in the count, no balls and a strike. Stewart hitting .364 on this young season. .462 on base percentage, so not a bad start for him. The 0-1 in the dirt. Good block by Chad Harper as he looks Holub back to second base. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Stewart has 4 hits, 2 RBIs. He stands in here with the tying run on second base. 1-1 from McCauley. Misses, gets away from Harper, but he's able to recover in time. Holub didn't quite see it fall out of the glove of Chad Harper, and he elected not to advance to third base. So Settlers might have caught a break there as Harper did end up slipping on that grass, had a little bit of precipitation here earlier today. We're in a lightning delay for a bit, did get that start time still about what the scheduled start time was, only about 2 minutes later. As that pitch misses outside as well. 3 balls and 1 strike. As McCauley, after let up off the leadoff double, in danger of walking Joe Stewart here to put 2 runners aboard. The 3-1 misses high and outside. And that'll be a no-out walk. That'll put 2 runners aboard here in the first 2 hitters. That'll bring up Noah Weiner, the second baseman, right-handed hitting. Second baseman, he did not get a start in game number 1 as well. He also hitting fairly well this season to start off the year. Hitting about .333, as we said. Southern Ohio, one of the better offensive attacks, if not the best offensive attack in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League thus far. First pitch from McCauley, grounded right back to him, a tapper. McCauley goes to third. Good throw and great heads-up play by John McCauley to cut down the leadoff runner as he throws out Blake Holub over at first base. And that'll be a fielder's choice for Weiner. There'll still be 2 runners on, but able to cut down the leadoff runner at third base as he fired over to Pimentel, a strike. So 1 out, 2 runners aboard. Stewart on second, Weiner over at first. That'll bring up the catcher, Scott Combs. Scott started last time against these 2 teams. He was 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. So he takes that first pitch for a strike. So McCauley looking to continue that trend as he finds himself in a bit of a jam here today. 0-1 pitch to Combs. Laced into right field. Going to be a tough play for the right fielder, Hill. It'll drop. Hill bobbles it. Comes up firing, but it'll be not in time as the 1-out RBI single from Scott Combs will tie this ball game up at 1 apiece. So Stewart scores. Weiner moves all the way to third, and it'll be runners at the corners here with 1 out. The 9-hitter, Jack Longo, coming up to the plate. He's 1 for 3 last time between these 2 teams. Had a single and also a walk. So Jack looks to keep this momentum going for the Copperheads. First pitch from McCauley, taken for a strike. McCauley throwing a lot of strikes so far. Only has that 1 walk as he checks on the runner and Combs over at first base. Only gotten to 3 balls to 2 hitters. Got Blaine Krim to ground out on a 3-1 pitch. So that pitch gets away from catcher Chad Harper, and that'll score another run on the pass ball by Harper. So Weiner will score. Combs moves over to second base. And just like that, Southern Ohio put a 2 spot up on the board here already, and they are still threatening. As that ball glanced right off the glove off of Harper. Looked like he was trying to frame that on that lower part of the plate. And it was able to get by him. So 1-1 pitch taken for a strike was Longo. That's going to move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. McCauley trying to work himself out of a little bit of a jam. Blake Holub led off with a leadoff double, then he walked Stewart. That put the first 2 runners aboard as he checks on the runner and Combs over on second base. Very humid here today, as you see McCauley wiping his brow. Had a little bit of rain, but been very humid. Had some heat lightning earlier today, too, as that ball hits Longo. It looks like right on that left elbow. So after being ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes, Longo gets hit by a pitch, and that'll put 2 runners on board once again. This lineup turns over, and it'll be up the leadoff hitter and center fielder Ty Sunken. Ty Sunken with 2 RBIs on the season so far. The Bowling Green State product with a chance to really break this open. First pitch from McCulley nearly hit him. Sunken had to take that right under his elbow. 1 ball and no strikes to Sunken. 1-0. Grounded down the third baseline, but that'll stay foul as Pimentel gave chase, but realized that was going to continue down on that outside part of third base. So even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Sunken led his Bowling Green State Falcons team in batting average, played in 40 games. One of the bright spots for a team that finished the year 11-39. Not a great season for Bowling Green State, but Sunken putting himself together a pretty solid year. So that pitch taken for a ball. That'll move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 runners aboard for the Copperheads. It's Combs at second base and Longo over at first. As Sunken stands in with a chance to extend this 2-1 Copperheads lead. That pitch misses outside for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike now to leadoff hitter. Sunken, his first at-bat was victim via the ground out. It was a controversial play. Umpires had to get together. We thought the umpire signaled him safe following it, but he was ruled out as that ball gets away from Harper once again, but it'll still be a walk, so bases are loaded now for the Copperheads. It looks like we'll get a mound visit from pitching coach Michael Sandman. As Combs is on third, Longo is on second, and Sunken will be over on first base. So what looked like McCulley might be able to work his way out of this, only giving up maybe 1 or 2 runs. Not the case right now, as bases loaded, still only 1 out. Blake Holub led off this inning with a double. Joe Stewart then walked to put runners at first and second. Noah Weiner hit into a fielder's choice. They were able to get Holub, the leadoff runner, out at third base, so it was first and second with only 1 out. Then an RBI single from Combs. Then the pass ball put 2 runners across the plate for the Copperheads, and they look as if they will put a couple more across as the meeting ends on the mound, and McCulley goes back to work.
Number 2, Thomas Zazzaro.
We'll bring up Thomas Zazzaro, the shortstop. Teammates with, of course, Miguel Pimentel, both go to Lee University, as that ball glances off the glove of Harper once again. So another run comes around to score off a pass ball from Harper. So that'll be 2 pass balls in this inning, and Southern Ohio finds himself leading 3-1. Here, and still only 1 out. Runners do move up. So be runners at second and third with a 2-run lead now. So McCulley goes from the windup. That pitch misses inside for a ball. So 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, 2 runners aboard. Copperheads already putting a 3 spot across on the Settlers. That pitch taken for a strike. Moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike now. McCulley just looking to get himself out of a jam here. 2-1, swung on, smashed into left center. That'll drop. As you'll see, Longo score, Sunken right behind him, as Thomas Zazzaro with the 2 RBI double. And that just broke this game wide open, as Southern Ohio with a 5 spot here in this second inning, and still only 1 out. Thomas Zazzaro got himself in a favorable 2-1 count. Saw a pitch, did not miss as he hit that deep to that left center gap. Austin White and Dylan Ott gave chase, but had really no chance. So that'll bring up the designated hitter, Ray Zuberer. You might see some Settlers running out to the bullpen. First pitch of Zuberer misses high. This will be the 8th hitter to come to the plate in this second inning. 1-0. Pops straight up. Might have enough room for Pimentel as he gives chase down that third base line. Yes, there will be. There's a big out for John McCauley. That'll put 2 away. That'll bring up Blaine Krim, the cleanup hitter, to bat with 1 aboard. Blaine Krim grounded out in his first at-bat, but one of the better hitters on this Copperhead team. He top 5 in the league in RBIs, has a chance for another one with his buddy Thomas Azaro over on second base as that pitch misses for a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes to the cleanup hitter Blaine Krim. That pitch misses inside, moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Blaine goes to Mississippi College. His team lost in the NCAA Division II regional semifinal. University of Tampa. They won 3 straight elimination games. That pitch misses outside again. 3 balls and no strikes. This is the 9th hitter to approach the plate for the Copperheads this inning. 3-0 for McCauley. Misses a 2-out walk to Blaine Krim, and now the Copperheads have batted around. So that'll bring up Blake Holub. He started this whole offensive onslaught here in this second inning with a double. He would not score. He was part of that fielder's choice to Noah Weiner. So he was cut down at third base off the chopper back to McCauley, but it was his double that started this 5-run outburst. So he takes his first pitch for a strike. So McCauley finally getting ahead of a hitter. Here hasn't been able to get ahead of many hitters over the last couple Copperheads to come to the plate. As he checks on the runner at second, nobody there. As Azaro scurries back over to second base. McCauley comes set and the delivery. Misses inside for a ball, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Southern Ohio hit the ball hard this inning, have 3 hits. Also have 3 walks. That pitch grounded to the second baseman in Sobozic. He goes to second for the force out, but not before the Copperheads put up a 5 spot here in the bottom of the second inning. They'll head to the top of the third. Licking County down 5-1.
Be sure to visit All-American Trophy and Sports, your local school spirit shop located at 92 North Plains Road, The Plains, Ohio. And now, Copperhead fans, please direct your attention to Troy on the first baseline. All right, fans, I got Curtis, Madeline, and Olivia looking to compete in our Union Street Diner Dash. Curtis is going to represent everybody on the first baseline. Madeline's representing everybody behind home plate. And Olivia is representing everybody on the third baseline. Are you guys ready down there? On your mark, get set, go! Here we go. I'll do a quick start here. Madeline is our winner. Everybody behind home plate is going home with 20% off Union Street Diner.
It'll be the top of the order here for the Settlers in the top half of the third inning. Dylan Ott, Sam Wilson, and Miguel Pimentel due up here in the top of the third. Settlers do trail 5-1 after a 5-run outburst by the Copperheads in the bottom half of the second. As Ott, first pitch swinging, fouls that one back. As he goes down the count, no balls and 1 strike. Dylan, of course, one of the leading hitters on this Settler team, hitting right around 500. Already this season, he's gotten off to a hot start. Now finds himself in the leadoff position. Was batting in the number 2 hole for a while, but He's going to keep getting hits. Why not throw him in the leadoff spot? This is his pitch from Eric. Misses for a ball, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Dylan from the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh. As that pitch misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Oshkosh was 1 win away from making the NCAA Division III tournament. Titans went 34-10 on the year as that pitch hit into the hole. It's Zazzaro with the backhand, fires over to first as it's going to be a bit high. So that'll be, as we wait for the statistician to make the call here on that one. Tough hit for Ott. It will go down as a single as Ott leads off the top of the 3rd inning here with a leadoff single. So runners aboard as the Settlers try to chip into this 4-run deficit. It'll bring up Sam Wilson to the plate. Sam has turned it on as of late. Has a single already in this game. And scored the only run for the Settlers. He comes up in his 2nd appearance against Dalton Eric. First pitch taken for a strike. So back-to-back hitters see first pitch strikes from Dalton Eric. Dalton got some good rest as Copperheads batted around, sent 10 men to the plate last inning as he checks on Ott over at first base. Copperheads able to put 5 runs across the board on 3 hits. There were also 3 walks and a hit by pitch. So the walk and the hit by pitch coming back to bite that staff again as that ball grounded to 3rd base, bobbled by Krim, as that'll go down as an error on the 3rd baseman, Blaine Krim. Wilson hit it fairly hard, might have taken a big hop there at the end. Krim had to go a little bit to his left, but not able to handle it as the Settlers have their first 2 runners aboard here as they look to get a couple runs back. That'll bring up Miguel Pimentel, the 3rd baseman. Miguel also had a single in his first at-bat. Part of back-to-back singles with him and Sam Wilson. Pimentel left stranded on 3rd, however, in that 1st inning. First pitch to him, grounded to the left side, going to be foul. There's 3 hitters in a row. Dalton Eric able to throw a strike. Miguel Pimentel, of course, one of 2 returning Settlers to this 2018 team. Him and Johnny Putnam coming back to Newark, Ohio. That pitch grounded up the middle, could be 2. Zazzaro bobbles it, steps on the bag, throws to first. Going to be a double play. Zazzaro bobbled that at first, but was able to recover. Step on the 2nd base bag for 1, fire over to first. On the 6-3 ground out from Pimentel. So just like that, 2 outs on the board now with a runner in Ott over at 3rd base, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Garrett Roberts. Roberts walked in his first appearance. His first pitch from Eric in the dirt. Roberts holds Ott over at 3rd base. He gets the count ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. Roberts, of course, from Cuyahoga Community College. Will go into Ashland University here in the fall. As that pitch misses once again, 2 balls and 1 strike. Roberts has found himself a home in that cleanup spot. He's been there the past 5 or 6 games or so. So that pitch taken for a strike, moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Had a big home run against the Lake Erie Monarchs to tie that game up in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Opposite field home run at that as that pitch. Big hack, fouled straight back. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Had a couple doubles off the wall. So he's been able to put up some power. Here's a 2-2 pitch coming in, fouled off to the right side, just missing the lights down there over the first base dugout. So 2 outs on the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner over at 3rd base in Ott. Settlers would love to get him in as that ball fouled off to the right side once again, and we'll do it all over. Settlers would love to get 1 across the board right here after letting up that 5 spot in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 2-2 pitch from Eric. Swung on, laced into right field. A 2-out single from Garrett Roberts. and that will bring Dylan Ott around to score. So the Settlers are able to score after getting their first 2 runners aboard here off the 2-out single by Garrett Roberts. Great piece of 2-strike hitting it. Fouled off 2 balls to the right side already. Was able to push that one right into right field off that low line drive. And the Settlers are back to being down 3 as that'll bring up Austin White. Austin, of course, making his first appearance in a Settler uniform. Had a little bit of a back issue, but he's okay now as he swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. Austin grounded into a fielder's choice in his first at-bat. Didn't get the RBI across. Was also able to steal second base as well, so a threat to run should he get on the base pass. That ball chopped to the shortstop, Cesaro. He fields it and takes the easy way to step on the bag at second. But the Settlers are able to get 1 run across. We head to the bottom half of the third. Settlers trail 5-2.
Hey, Copperhead fans, be sure to follow the Southern Ohio Copperheads on Twitter, @Copperheads, on Instagram and Snapchat, @ChedsBaseball, as well as on our YouTube account, Southern Ohio Copperheads, for behind-the-scenes looks, home and away score updates, exclusive promotions, and much more. Again, that is @Copperheads on Twitter, @ChedsBaseball on Instagram and Snapchat, and Southern Ohio Copperheads on YouTube. The Copperheads would like to recognize the Fuller family for the Edward Jones seat upgrade of the game. Thanks for the continued Copperhead support. Michigan State, number 12, Joe Stewart.
First pitch from McCauley taken for a ball. That'll be Joe Stewart at the plate. Stewart walked in his first at-bat as he swings and misses through that pitch. Settlers trail in this one 5-2 in the bottom of the third inning. Off a 5-run bottom of the second. That pitch misses outside for a ball, moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 pitch. Misses once again outside. 3 balls and a strike here to the number 6 hitter, Joe Stewart, playing right field. Joe scored the first run of the game for the Copperheads. That pitch misses outside once again, so a 5-pitch walk for starting pitcher John McCauley. McCauley rolled in that first inning, struggled here in the second inning, as the Copperheads were able to push 5 runs across the board off 3 hits. They walked 3 times and also had a hit by pitch as well. So yes, the Copperheads did hit the ball hard, but got a couple of free base runners as well via the walk and the hit by pitch. That'll bring up Noah Weiner to the plate, the second baseman. So he sees his first pitch taken for a strike. Weiner grounded into a fielder's choice in his first at-bat. They were able to cut down the runner at third base, put him at first and second with 1 out. That pitch swung on and missed for strike number 2. Thought maybe McCauley could work himself out of it, but after that pitch, it all really went downhill from there as he checks on the runner at first base in Stewart. Just a bit late as Stewart slides back in safely. Copperheads wearing their all-white uniforms, white jersey, white pants with the green lettering and yellow trim. Green socks as well as he checks on him. Once again, close play, but he slides back in safely. Settlers going with their blue jerseys, gray pants, white scripted Settlers right across the front with the red hats as well as he checks on him one more time. So 3 straight. Throws over to first base. And all 3 times Stewart able to slide back in safely. 0-2 fouled straight back by Weiner, and he hangs in. So Stewart on first base, Weiner at the dish. He's down. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Runner goes in. Stewart. Harper throw down just a bit late. So Weiner will go down on strikes. Stewart, because he was on first, there will be no tag, but Stewart moves in to scoring position here with 1 out. That'll bring up the catcher, an 8-hitter, Scott Combs from Michigan State University. Scott with the original RBI single. Back in that second inning, he later scored on a pass ball. That would eventually be the 3rd run of that 5-run second inning. First pitch to Combs, hammered to the left side. Going to be a tough play for Pena. He will not be able to get there, so that'll trickle into left field and be corralled by Dylan Ott. So a 1-out single from Scott Combs puts runners at the corners here with only 1 away. Jack Longo, the number 9 hitter, will come to the dish now. Jack was hit by a pitch. He was down the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Was able to take it off the left elbow. And that was a big hitter, as he was able to keep that inning alive. That pitch skirts away from Harper. Harper slips once again on that grass. Grass a little bit wet, as we saw a little bit of rain today. Not too much. We've definitely seen a lot worse in this season. There's a lot of lightning going on. Teams had to clear the field. Settlers had to take batting practice inside. So 1-0 pitch comes in from McCauley. That ball laced to the right side. Going to be corralled by Sobozic. He'll go to first for the easy out. But a runner will score off the ground out from Jack Longo. Joe Stewart will come in to score. So after the Settlers get one in the top half of the 3rd, Copperheads counter as they score 1 run here on the 4-3 ground out. That'll go back to the top of the lineup. It'll be Ty Sunken at the dish now. Ty 0 for 1 today. Grounded out in the first inning and walked in the second. He later scored the 5th run of the game after that walk. First pitch to him taken for a ball on the outer half. Ty from Bowling Green State University. We already said Bowling Green didn't have the best season, but Ty was a bright spot for them as that ball gets away from Harper once again. That'll bring another runner across in Scott Combs. That will be the 7th run of this game for the Copperheads, and we're only in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Copperheads, after being scoreless through the first inning, have put crooked numbers across the board here in these last 2. Is that pitch taken for a strike? That'll put the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. That pitch misses low for a ball, 3 balls and 1 strike. The leadoff hitter sunk in. 3-1 from McCauley. Foul down the right field line over behind some fans sitting on the grassy hill past the first base dugout. There's a bounce house out there further away as well. Some kids jumping as that pitch misses once again, so yet another walk for the Copperheads will keep this inning alive. It looks like we might get a pitching change as head coach Charlie Poole makes his way out to the mound. McCauley started good, but after 2 walks already in this inning, gave up a single as well. Not looking like he has the best stuff. As Poole does go to the bullpen, and we will have that reliever when we come back. Copperheads lead 7-2.
Schreiber. Tonight's visiting pitching change is brought to you by Snyder, Fuller, and Stroh. When life hits you hardest, make sure you have a financial bullpen that you can count on.
So it'll be Max Schreiber in relief for the Settlers. Schreiber making his third appearance on this season. He's thrown 6 2/3 innings, 2 strikeouts, 6 walks, 5 hits. Has an ERA just over 4. So he comes in and inherits that runner on first base. And Sunken as his first pitch misses to Thomas Zazzaro for a ball. Zazzaro 1 for 2 today. Had a double in the second, a 2-run double. Really broke this game open. Hammered that ball to left center and grounded out in the first inning. So 1-0 pitch from Schreiber misses in the dirt. Runner does go. Harper throw down to second. Not in time as that scares into center field. And Sunken will get a stolen base and advance to third on the throwing error by catcher Chad Harper. So 2 balls and no strikes to the hitter Zazzaro. There are 2 outs here. But the Copperheads have already pushed 2 runs across the board in this third inning. Had a 5 spot in the second inning. Were held scoreless in the first, so past 2 innings put 7 runs across the board and are threatening to put another one across. So that pitch misses high. So 3 straight balls from Schreiber. Out of the pen has Zazzaro. In a good spot here, 3 balls, no strikes. Zazzaro, Miguel Pimentel's teammate at Lee University. Sees a 3-0 from Schreiber. That pitch misses once again, so 4 straight balls. It'll be the 3rd walk of the inning, given up by Settler pitchers. We've talked about how the Settler pitchers have been giving a lot of free passes. They average about 6 to 7 walks per game. Have a whip near 2. That's walks plus hits per innings pitched. They're giving a lot of free passes as Ray Zuber comes to the dish now. Zuber 1 for 2 today, had a single in the first inning and popped up to third in the second. His first pitch from Schreiber taken for a strike. Sunken stands on third. Zazzaro over on first. 2 outs on the board, 0-1 count to Zuber. Settlers trying to get out of this third inning. A 1 from Schreiber, taken for a strike. So after a walk on 4 straight pitches, Schreiber comes back and throws 2 straight strikes to Ray Zuber, the designated hitter. Zuber this season hitting right around 450, so a very dangerous hitter at the dish. Schreiber up 0-2. Pitch from Schreiber. Smacked into right field. That ball going deep as Hill goes to the wall, and he looks up, and it is gone. An 0-2 hanging curveball from Max Schreiber is hammered over the right field fence. as Ray Zuber, with his second home run of the season, make that 8 RBIs on the year for him as well, as he touches home plate. And that'll be the 5th run that comes across the plate in this inning. So back-to-back innings with 5 runs scored by the Copperheads as they lead this game 10-2 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So an absolutely disastrous last couple innings for the Settlers in the field. So it'll bring up Blaine Krim to the plate. Blaine's 0 for 1 today. He grounded out in his first at-bat in the first and walked in the second inning as that first pitch misses low and in the dirt for ball number 1. Blaine, arguably the best hitter on this team, hitting just below 500, top 5 in RBIs with 9, 14 hits, 7 of those going for extra bases. As that pitch bounces in at about 57 feet. Once again, moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes. As you see Chad Harper going out, try to calm his pitcher down. That was only the 2nd hit of this inning for the Copperheads. They have 3 walks. So walks coming back to haunt Settler pitching staff once again as they trail this one 10-2. We still have a lot of baseball left. Settlers pushed one across in the top half. Looked like they might be trying to chip back into that lead as that ball fouled towards the third base dugout. 2-1 count now to Krim. Settlers got one back that cut it to 3, but the 5 spot in this 3rd inning really starting to get it out of reach early on. So that pitch fouled back once again to give him the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schreiber came in inheriting the runner in Ty Sunken, but his 4-pitch walk of Thomas Azaro and then the 0-2 home run to Ray Zuber. That pitch in the dirt. No, he did not go around, says first base umpire Charles Booth, and that'll push the count 2 full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Settlers trying to get out of this 3rd inning. Three-two from Schreiber. Misses high. That'll be another walk here in this 3rd inning. 4th walk of this inning. At that. So that'll bring up the number 5 hitter in Blake Holub. Blake is 1 for 2 today. He doubled in the 2nd inning. And also had a fielder's choice in that inning as he batted twice in that 2nd inning. He'll be the 9th hitter to come to the plate in this bottom of the 3rd inning for the Copperheads. First pitch from Schreiber, taken for a strike. So back-to-back innings, the Copperheads have seen at least 9 hitters come to the plate. A tough 2nd and 3rd inning for this Licking County pitching staff as time is called. Schreiber comes set, checks the runner in Krim over at first base. Pitch misses low. They leave the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 7 walks through 3 innings allowed by this Settler pitching staff. Go along with a hit by pitch. Copperheads only 5 hits in this ball game. As that pitch hit down the third base line. Good pick by Pimentel as he flips over to first base, and that will retire the side, but the Copperheads putting another 5 spot across the board as we head to the 4th inning. Southern Ohio leads 10-2.
Your locally owned and operated laundry and dry cleaning business is a proud sponsor of the Copperheads. Stop by 15 West Simpson for all of your laundry and dry cleaning needs. And Ambassador Laundry wants to see how fast our contestants can race to put on a Copperheads uniform. Now bring your attention to our on-field host, Roy Lowe, down on the 3rd baseline.
We've got Olivia and Hunter over here competing in our Ambassador Laundry race. We got 3 pieces of our Copperheads uniform, and the first one to put all 3 pieces on and be the first one back to me is going to be our winner. You guys ready? On your mark, get set, go! They're sliding on the pants, and our girl Olivia's up to a quick start. And Hunter's not even putting on the pants all the way. You gotta have those on by the time you get back, Hunter. She's just scooting on. She don't have the pants on all the way either. Hunter's the first one with the hat on. Those pants gotta be all the way on, Hunter. You can't have one leg in. He's hopping back. Oh, it's a close race. Who's it gonna be? And it is Olivia. Make some noise for Olivia, guys. Thanks to our contestants for their participation in Ambassador Laundry Race. Make sure you visit them for all your dry cleaning and laundry needs.
First pitch into Kaz Sobozic, taken for a strike. Sobozic, only his second plate appearance today. He grounded out to first in his first plate appearance as that pitch taken for a strike as well. Moves the count to no balls and 2 strikes, top of the 4th inning. Settlers do trail 10-2. That pitch misses high with the 0-2 Dalton. Eric has really gone through this Settler order without a lot of damage. That pitch grounded to the right side. Going to be a tough play for the second baseman. And Weiner, he scoops and makes the throw. Safe, says the first base umpire. A tough play for Weiner, ranging to his left in shallow right field. Try to spin, make the throw over to Holub at first base, but just a little too tardy on the toss over. So that'll go down as a hit for Sobozic. So for the second straight inning, Settlers lead off with a single. Turner Hill stepping into the batter's box now, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to first in his first plate appearance. That pitch taken for a strike to Hill. Turner from Marietta, Ohio. Goes to Malone College. You see it's the 0-1. Low in the dirt, evens the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Settlers have 5 hits in this game, but only 2 runs to show for as that ball chopped high to the first baseman, Holub. He goes to second. Good pick by the shortstop, Zazzaro, to cut down the leadoff runner in Sobozic. That ball could have easily been thrown into left field and could have started a little bit of a rally for the Settlers, but Zazzaro with the pick. It'll go down as a fielder's choice as Sobozic is cut down at second base. That'll bring up the number 8 hitter in Chad Harper. He's behind the dish today. Harper struck out looking in his first at-bat. So Harper's still looking for his second hit of the year. First pitch low and in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes to the catcher from West Liberty. Hilltoppers 21-28 this year. He started 24 games behind the dish. He was a former All-West Virginia Class 3A as a senior. Hit almost 500 in his final year of high school as that pitch taken inside. Once again, 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 from Eric. Chopped right back up the middle. This could be 2. Weiner bobbled it. He was trying to flip it to Zazzaro as that'll go down as an error on Weiner. So some problems for the Copperheads infielders here early on.
What? Yeah.
That's the second error today for the Copperheads. Could have been a couple more too. But you wouldn't have any ideas. The Settlers only able to push 2 runs across the board. They trail by 8 here. So that'll go down as an E4 on Weiner. Hill moves into second. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter in Eddie Pena. That pitch taken in the dirt. Good block by Scott Combs behind the plate. His first pitch to Pena is going to be a ball. So runners on first and second. Once again, we had runners on first and second back in the first inning.
No one.
Third inning had runners on first and second, nobody out. Only able to push one of those across the board. So every inning they've had first and second, they've been able to score one. So that pitch taken inside for a ball. Count moves to 2 balls and no strikes. Settlers have had opportunities to score, but Eric has been able to work out of every minor jam he's found himself into. So that pitch hammered to the left side. That'll get through. Third base coach Robbie Howell waving around Turner Hill as he's going to score standing up. So a 1-out single from Eddie Pena pushes the third run across the board for the Settlers. They try to cut down into this lead. That'll flip the lineup over and bring up the leadoff hitter in Dylan Ott. Dylan today is 1 for 2, struck out in the first inning, singled in the third. He came around to score later as the second run of the day for the Settlers. So Harper at second, Pena over at first base. Ott takes his first pitch, low and outside for ball number 1. Dylan leading this Settler offensive attack in that leadoff spot. Had been batting number 2 for first couple games. That pitch hammered to third base coach Robbie Howell. He makes a nice play, flips it back into the dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dylan, one of the best hitters on his Oshkosh Titan team this year, one of the best hitters in New York Collegiate League last year, so everywhere he goes, able to hit the ball. That pitch taken for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now to Dylan Ott. 1 out in this 4th inning. Runners on first and second base. Settlers just trying to get a couple back here after back-to-back 5 spots by the Copperheads. That pitch blooped into center field. Going to be a tough play for the center fielder in Sunken, but he comes on and makes the catch. So thought Ott might be able to sneak that by Sunken, but a good running catch by the center fielder will retire Dylan Ott. So that'll bring up the designated hitter in Sam Wilson. Sam is 1 for 2 today, has reached base twice, however. Singled in the first inning, scored the first run of the game. Also reached via error. That was an error on the third baseman, Blaine Krim, back in the 3rd inning. So Wilson in a big spot here. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. So that pitch misses outside for a ball. Sam has really come on in the past couple games. Went 7 for 8 in the last series against Richmond. Had 2 RBIs, scored 6 runs in the series. So that pitch misses low and inside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. To the number 2 hitter out of Wabash Valley College. Two-0 from Eric. Misses once again. 3 straight balls from the right-handed hurler. As Wilson finds himself ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes here with 2 outs. Settlers already 1 run across the board in this 4th inning, trying to make a couple more as that pitch taken 3-0 for a strike. As Eric keeps this battle alive here with Wilson. Settlers just trying to chip away here. Came into this inning down by 8. Have pushed 1 across. That pitch laced to the right side. That'll get through as Chad Harper's being waved around. The throw bobbled in right field by Stewart as Harper comes in standing up. So a 2-out single from Sam Wilson, his 2nd single of the day. And once again, Settlers just trying to chip away here. They trail now by 10-4 as we're going to get a meeting on the mound here by the Copperheads. Settlers with 3 hits in this inning. Got a little bit of help off the error by the second baseman in Weiner. Just kind of keep this inning going a little bit, but RBI single by Pena, RBI single by Wilson. The Settlers are looking at a 6-run deficit here. Still a lot of baseball left to play. Definitely getting down 10-2 in the 3rd. Not ideal, but a lot of time to score a couple runs here or there and start to chip away at this lead if the pitching staff can hold him at that 10 spot. That'll bring up the third hitter in Miguel Pimentel. Miguel is 1 for 2 today. He had a single in the first inning and grounded out in the third. Pena on second. Wilson over on first. Pimentel at the dish. First pitch from Eric. Skied high into right field. Stewart coming on. He's going to call off his second baseman and Weiner. Settle under it. And the Copperheads will get out of the inning, but Settlers able to push 2 across. We go into the bottom of the 4th. Settlers trail 10-4.
Only 24-hour dine or breakfast is served anytime. Located at 70 West Union Street. Make sure to grab a Copperheads program for 20% off your next visit. Copperheads would like to thank Wendy's for their support of the team and players. If you're hungry, stop into Wendy's located off Richland Avenue and East State Street. Check the back of your ticket stub for a free small Frosty with any purchase. Now, fans, please turn your attention to the first base dugout where Troy is a fan looking to stay fit and take down Homer in a little fitness challenge.
Over here with Savea, Kit Kat, and William looking to take down Homer in his Homer's Fitness Challenge. And today we're doing squats. Whoever does the most squats is going home with our winner. You guys ready? On your mark, get set, go! Look at these girls, get it right here. Homer, you can go low than that. Get down low, Homer. Come on, make some noise for them. They're working hard out here, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's over. Let's get. Savea's our winner with 25 squads. Congratulations, Savea.
Batting from Michigan State, number 12, Joe Stewart.
Do it for the Copperheads here in the bottom of the 4th inning will be Stewart, Weiner, and Combs as Max Schreiber takes the hill. Once again, first pitch into Stewart is taken for a ball. Schreiber leaving starting pitcher John McCauley. McCauley went 2 2/3 innings, gave up 8 runs, 7 earned, off 5 hits, had a strikeout. So that pitch taken for a strike. Had a strikeout, 5 walks, 1 hit by pitch, and a wild pitch. So that evens count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch swung on a miss by Stewart. Stewart today has not recorded an at-bat. He's walked twice and has twice come around to score. So keeping him off the base paths would be a good omen here for the Settlers. They try to come back here as that ball skied into right field. Coming on will be Turner Hill as he settles under it and bobbled off of his glove. An error by Turner Hill. Tries to get him out at second, but the throw not in time. That'll go down as an E9 on Turner Hill. It'll be a 2-base error. As just like that, the Copperheads have yet another runner in scoring position. Last 2 innings, Copperheads have had their leadoff man aboard, and those last 2 innings have led to 5 runs apiece. As they've put a 10 spot up here in the bottom of the 4th inning and look as if they might put a couple more up, as that'll bring up Noah Weiner, the second baseman. First pitch from McCauley. Fouled straight back to Weiner. Weiner today is 0 for 2, had a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Later scored on a pass ball, and he struck out in the 3rd. This will be the 3rd consecutive inning that Weiner has a plate appearance, as the Copperheads have batted around the last 2 innings. 0-1 from Schreiber in the dirt. Good block by Harper. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Copperheads only have 6 hits on the day. Settlers have 7. So Settlers in their first meeting did out-hit the Copperheads 8-6, did lose 7-2, thanks to a couple guys left on base, 8 to be exact, in that first inning as that pitch swung on and missed by Weiner. Schreiber gets ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schreiber looks in, comes set. The 1-2. Lone in the dirt once again. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Joe Stewart stands over on second base. He reached on the error. The Schreiber tries to work around it. 2-2 pitch to Weiner. Swung on and flared down the right field side. It's going to get over that first base dugout and out of play. So we'll do the 2-2 over once again. As Copperheads have scored 5 runs in the second and third innings. They appear as if they are threatening once again here in the fourth. The 2-2. Misses inside, nearly hit him. Did Schreiber as he came in right under the hands of Weiner, and that's going to move the count to full. Copperheads have already worked 7 walks today. So Copperheads have more walks than they have hits. 3-2. Taken for a ball. Make that 8 walks on the day for this Settler pitching staff, and that'll put runners at first and second base here with nobody out. I'll bring Scott Combs to the dish. Right-handed hitting catcher. He's 2 for 2 today. Did an RBI single in the second. Had another single in the third. Came around to score both times. 1 on a pass ball, 1 on a wild pitch. So Scott Combs, the Michigan State University catcher, in a position to drive home a couple more runs. You see Garrett Roberts coming in at first base. First pitch, lone in the dirt for ball number 1. Combs, a big guy behind the dish. Stands 6'4", 200 pounds. He was a wide receiver and tight end in high school as well as a guard. So a very big guard on the basketball court. That pitch misses outside. Moves count to 2 balls and no strikes. Action down in the Settler bullpen once again as a couple guys head down that way. You see Cale Baker, the other Settler catcher, making his way down there. So it would appear as if a couple more guys are going to start to get loose out of this Settler bullpen. 2-0 from Schreiber. Swung on and missed by Combs. Throw down towards first base. Goes over the first baseman's head in Roberts and into right field. That'll bring around Joe Stewart to score as the throw goes in towards third. Finally knocked down by Miguel Pimentel. But Chad Harper trying to throw behind the runner at first base. Looked like as if he might have him. But the errant throw goes out of reach of Garrett Roberts, and that'll put another run across the board here for the Copperheads. They now lead 11-4 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Weiner did move into third base. So that pitch was taken for a strike, so 2-1. Count fouled straight back. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Stewart reaches base on an error and scores on an error here in this fourth inning. Settlers still have not recorded an out. Weiner stands over on third base. 2-2 from Schreiber. Fouled down the first base side. It's going to get out of play just behind some fans sitting on the hill right behind the first base dugout. Good crowd today here in Athens, Ohio. A humid Father's Day game. Of course, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Settler fathers, host dad fathers. Of course, my father, now I believe he is watching. Wasn't watching the first time I made that shout out, but I believe he is now. taking in some baseballs. That ball hit right back to Schreiber. Checks the runner in. Weiner over at third base. Makes the throw over to first. And that will be the first out here in this bottom of the fourth inning off the 1-3 ground out.
Now catching.
That'll bring up the left fielder, Jack Longo. Longo today is 0 for 1. He got hit by a pitch in his first at-bat in the second inning. Came around to score. Then grounded out to second in his second at-bat. So this will be his third plate appearance on the day. He's got his buddy and Noah Weiner over on third. First pitch taken for a ball. They're going to check if he swung with the base umpire. No, says the base umpire, Charles Booth. Be a first pitch ball. 1-0. 1-0 from Schreiber. That time he did go around. He looked like he wanted to check his swing, but had already committed too far, was Longo. Then it'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Copperheads have pushed a runner across the plate already in this inning. They lead 11-4 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That pitch fouled on the right side. Roberts looked like he didn't quite know where it was, trying to make a play over by the wall. Does make the play as the runner in Weiner took a couple steps off. Chad Harper had vacated home plate. Nobody was standing there, but good play by Garrett Roberts as he asked for time. Looked like he didn't quite see it at first. Might have been battling the sun as it sits behind Bob Wren Field here in Athens, but was able to make up some ground. It did go crashing into that wall there in foul territory, so good play by Garrett Roberts. As that now puts 2 outs, runner on third base, top of the order here for the Copperheads. It'll be Ty Sunken. Ty is 0 for 1 today, had a ground out in the first and 2 walks in the second and third innings, respectively. As that pitch in the dirt, good block by Harper. Sunken did come around to score both of those times. Copperheads working 8 walks on the day, so a lot of free passes being given out by this Licking County pitching staff. That pitch taken for a ball, moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Solar pitching staff averaging just over 6 walks per game, so they're over their average already through 3 2/3 innings. It's 2-0 pitch into Sunken, taken for a ball. So of course, as I say that, Schreiber appears as he might walk another one. Schreiber with 3 walks of his own. Today standing at a 3-0 count. Here to lead-off hitter, Ty Sunken. So that pitch taken for a strike. Moves the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Ty only hitting 167 this year, so not a great start for him at the top of that order. 3-1 pitch comes in, misses high. It'll be 4 walks on the day for Schreiber. That's Sunken's 3rd walk today. We have the shortstop, Thomas Zazzaro. Zazzaro is 1 for 2 today.
3 walks in 3 innings.
Ground out to short back in the first, had a 2 RBI double in the second, and then walked in the third. Was part of back-to-back walks in that 3rd inning. He came around to score once today. So Zazzaro, the chance to knock one in here. He takes that pitch for a ball as he gets ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. 9 walks on the day for this Licking County pitching staff, as the Settlers trail 11-4 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 from Schreiber. Runner goes, ball chopped through the left side. That'll get through as Noah Weiner comes around to score, and that'll be a 2-out single by Thomas Zazzaro. He has 3 RBIs today on 2 hits as Weiner comes around to score for the 12th run of the game, and that'll bring up the number 3 hitter in Ray Zuberer. Designated hitter is 2 for 3 today. Had a single in the first, popped up to 3rd in the second, and had that towering 3-run home run back in the third inning. A no-doubter from Ray Zuber. He stands in with a chance at a couple more RBIs. Ty Sunken over on second. Thomas Zazzaro over on first. Zuber, as we know, one of the better hitters on this Copperhead team. A Copperhead team that pretty much top of the league in about every offensive category that you can find. Top of the league in a lot of pitching categories as well. It's why they're 5-1 on the year as that pitch misses for a ball to Zuber. Since we last saw Southern Ohio, they had a 9-8 loss to the Cincinnati Steam. 1-2 against the Saginaw Valley Sugar Beets. That pitch laced through the right side. That'll get into right field. Third base coach is going to wave around his runner in Sunken. Throw's going to be cut off by Roberts. So an RBI single by Ray Zuber. That'll be his 4th RBI of the day. That'll bring Ty Sunken around to score. And that's already a 3-run 4th inning here for the Copperheads, and they are still threatening here with 2 away. Zazzaro over on third base. Zuber on first, and that'll bring up Blaine Krim. Blaine is 0 for 1 today, grounded out in the first, has 2 walks as well. First pitch from Schreiber, taken inside for a ball. Blaine, arguably the best hitter on this Copperheads team, hitless thus far. Not too many guys on this Copperhead team without a hit today as that pitch fouled straight back. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Copperheads have pushed 3 runs across. They have 2 hits, 2 walks. And Joe Stewart started this inning with that error out in right field. 1-1. Good block by Harper. Keeps the runners at first and third. Moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Copperhead hitters working on their 4th time through this batting order. This will be the 8th hitter they've sent to the plate. They've batted around the last 2 innings and looking to make it 3 straight. So that pitch fouled off. Going to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 to Blaine Krim. 2 outs, 2 runners aboard, as the Copperheads lead this one 13-4 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Two from Schreiber. Runner goes, and he'll walk into second base standing up. So the 2-out stolen base by Zuber puts 2 runners in scoring position, both who will be getting a head start here as the count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Two from Schreiber. Laced into right field, might get over the head of Turner Hill. Hill gives chase, but able to make the play in deep right field, about 1.5 steps off of the warning track. So the Settlers are able to get out of the bottom of the 4th inning, but not before the Copperheads put up a 3 spot as Southern Ohio leads 13-4.
Chamber of Commerce logo, and be sure to support the businesses that support Athens Sandlot, our very own Copperheads, and our community. Love Athens, keep it local, because together we make a difference. Sports fans, catch in-depth coverage and analysis of today's game and previews of future matchups in the next edition of the Athens Messenger, or log on to www.athensmessenger.com for additional photos, video, breaking sports news, and more. The Athens Messenger is the only media outlet to bring you comprehensive coverage of the Southern Ohio Copperheads, Ohio University Athletics, and both girls and boys high school sports from every school district in Athens County and rivals and surrounding areas. The Athens Messenger sports staff has it covered. Now fans, stand up and cheer. Heat up our pitcher and cool down the hot dog hitter with the Dan Inman Electric Heating and Cooling for all of your comfort needs. Tonight's hot dog hitter is number 21, Austin White. If White strikes out, hot dogs will be just $1 for the whole arriving from Cuyahoga Community College, number 32, Garrett Roberts.
Be 4-5-6 due up for the Licking County Settlers in the 5th inning as Garrett Roberts takes his first pitch for a strike. It'll be Roberts, White, and Sobozic. Roberts is 1 for 1 today. He walked in the first inning and had an RBI single in the 3rd as the Settlers come into this top of the 5th inning, trailing the Southern Ohio Copperheads 13-4. That pitch misses inside for a ball. That'll move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. As Roberts tried to check his swing. Appeared as he did. Yes, he did. Confirms Charles Booth down that first base line. So 3 balls and 1 strike here to Roberts. Roberts already 1 walk today, looking for his 2nd. As he does not swing at that one, but it is a called strike. As Roberts thought it was going to be ball 4 as he started down that first base line. But called back by home plate umpire Justin Mann. 3-2. Chop to Cesaro at short. Cesaro scoops and fires over to first base and in time. So a 6-3 ground out by Garrett Roberts starts off this top half of the 5th inning. That'll bring up Austin White to the plate. The right-handed hitting center fielder is 0 for 2 today. He had an RBI fielder's choice in the first inning and popped up to the shortstop back in the 3rd inning. Austin making his first appearance in a Settler uniform today, was battling some injuries here early on, but finally able to get himself healthy and back in that lineup as the first pitch to White is swung on and fouled back for a strike. Dalton Eric has been spectacular today for the Copperheads. He's given up 7 hits, but you wouldn't know it. Given up 4 runs, and his offense has given him plenty of run support as that pitch taken low and in the dirt for a ball. Every jam that he's found himself in, he's really been able to get himself out. Only giving up 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, and 2 in the 4th as that pitch chopped to the shortstop. Cesaro, he fields and fires over to first base to hold to retire Austin White. So back-to-back ground outs to the shortstop here in the top of the 5th inning for the Settlers. It'll bring up Kaz Sobozic, the left-handed hitting second baseman. He's 1 for 2 today. Had a ground out to first back in the 1st inning and had a single to lead off that 2-run 4th inning as that first pitch is taken for a strike to Sobozic. 0-1 pitch taken once again for a strike, so very quickly Sobozic in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 from Eric, taken outside, good waste by Eric, so that'll move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Just catches the outer half once again. Sobozic, not a fan of that call as he goes down looking. Eric with the curveball catches that outer half, and Settlers go down 1-2-3. As we go to the bottom half, Copperheads up 13-4.
Beers on tap and in the bottle 365 days a year. The Cat's Eye Saloon is a proud supporter of the Southern Ohio Copperheads and all Ohio University athletics. The Cat's Eye Saloon, your home away from home, open 7 days a week. Copperheads would like to thank all of the Ohio Health employees that have joined us at Bob Wren tonight. And don't forget, Ohio Health Oakland's Hospital Associates join together every year to raise money for the Southeastern Ohio Food Bank. Help them support health and wellness in the region by purchasing a split-up pot ticket or making a donation. Thank you again for everything you do for our team. St. Edward's University, number 25, Blake.
It'll be 5, 6, 7 here for the Copperheads in their half of the 5th inning. Blake Holub, Joe Stewart, and Noah Weiner. We do have a defensive substitution for the Licking County Settlers. It'll be Cale Baker. He will be sophomore at the University of Cincinnati, now behind the dish, replacing Chad Harper. So Schreiber back out for another inning of work. That first pitch taken low to the leadoff hitter, Blake Holub, in this inning. Holub is 1 for 3 on the day. He had a double on the second, fielder's choice, and a ground out in his next 2 appearances. That pitch fouled straight back. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Southern Ohio, ever since getting shut out in that bottom of the first, have put up a 5, a 5, and a 3. It's a lot of crooked numbers here for this Copperhead offense. That pitch taken low for a ball, 2 balls, and a strike here to Holub. Holub listed on the roster as a pitcher, has not made an appearance yet on the mound. As he takes that 2-1 pitch, skies it in the air. Miguel Pimentel giving chase in foul ground, settles under it, and makes the catch. So for the first time
from Michigan
since the first inning, the leadoff hitter is not going to be aboard for the Copperheads. Had to check my book there to, in fact, clarify that. But, yes, the first inning was the only inning that the Copperheads did not have their leadoff runner aboard, as that first pitch to Joe Stewart is taken low for a ball. Stewart is 0 for 1 today. He has 2 walks, has scored 3 times, and has reached on an error. So every time he's made it up to the plate, he's been on, and he has scored. So that pitch swung on and missed by Stewart. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
He is 0 for 1 with 3 runs.
1-1 pitch from Schreiber. Taken for a strike. Moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. To the number 6 hitter.
2 walks, came around and scored. He hit
And
the
Stewart.
ball to right that was dropped and scored it.
So that pitch fouled back to the backstop. It'll keep it right there at 1 ball and 2 strikes for the Portage, Michigan native. One, 2. Swung on and blooped right behind the shortstop, Eddie Pena. He tracks it back, takes about 5 or 6 steps back behind him, and makes the play for out number 2. So, again, for the first time since the first inning, Copperheads go down with their first 2 hitters. So, a good sign here in this bottom of the 5th inning for the Settlers. That'll bring up the number 7 hitter in Noah Weiner. Weiner is 0 for 2 today. Reached on a fielder's choice. Scored on a pass ball in the second, struck out in the third, and walked in the 4th inning. As that pitch taken for a strike. Weiner has scored twice today. Scored the 2nd run of the game and also the 12th run of the game. 0-1 from Schreiber. Taken for a strike, back-to-back strikes. As Schreiber looks for the Settlers' first 1-2-3 inning here in this ball game. Weiner calls time. And steps back in. He's down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 from Schreiber. Fouled straight back as he stays alive. Looks like Baker was looking for it in the dirty. Got up off of his knees, maybe was trying to block that one, but Weiner able to foul off and waste a good pitch from Schreiber. The 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Copperheads go down 1-2-3 for the first time today, and we'll head to the top of the 6th inning. Southern Ohio leads 13-4.
Fun is just beginning in Athens, Ohio. Outdoor concerts and festivals, rails and trails, a 30-mile meal, and the funky vibe of uptown Athens and Court Street, Ohio's most eccentric half mile. The best road trip starts at AthensOhio.com, the region's most comprehensive site for maps, shopping and dining directories, and events calendar. Visit AthensOhio.com and start planning your next adventure. Classic brands. Budweiser and Yingling are proud supporters of Copperheads baseball. Please drink responsibly and always use a designated driver. Responsibility matters. And now it's time to turn your attention to Troy for this inning's promotions, brought to you by Classic Brands.
Hey fans, I'm over here with a couple Bob Redden legends, John and JD, and they're looking to compete in our Classic Brands Classic Toss. Each contestant's gonna get 2 shots to make their volleyball in the Red Solo Cup, and whoever makes the most is our winner. You guys ready? All right, who's going first? JD's going first, let's see it. Ooh, air ball, we got air ball going out first. All right, let's see what you got, John. Ooh, John got one, you got one more shot, JD. This guy's an athlete over here. Last shot. And it is sure. John, you can shoot it. Go for it. Why not? John is going home our winner. Thanks for participating in our Classic Brands Classic Toss. Classic Brands is both our proud sponsor of the Southern Ohio Copperheads and our beer distributor. Thank you to Classic Brands for their continued support.
Now on the mound for your Copperheads from Lee University, number 19, Andrew Franklin.
Pitching change here in the top of the 6th inning for the Copperheads. It'll be Andrew Franklin, the Lee University product, on to relieve Dalton Eric. Eric went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, 2 of those earned, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. So a great outing from the right-hander from Youngstown State University. Franklin, the lefty, on the mound as he throws his first pitch into Turner Hill for a strike. This will be Franklin's 2nd appearance on the year for the Copperheads. He also pitched in that 9-8 loss to the Cincinnati Steam as Turner Hill shoots that one down the left field line. Fair ball, says the home plate umpires. Turner Hill is going to slide into second base with a lead-off double. So for the 3rd time today, Settlers get their leadoff man aboard off the double by Turner Hill. That's his first hit of the day. That'll bring up catcher Cale Baker. Baker, this will be his first at-bat in this game as he came in last inning as a defensive replacement for Chad Harper. So Baker will get his first crack in this ball game. As that pitch skied into center field, going back is sunken. Going to be near the wall at the warning track is sunken. Gone for Cale Baker. Wasn't sure if it had enough off the bat, but Baker pounds that one into left center field for his 2nd home run of the season. Baker wasting no time. He finds an opportunity and puts that one over the wall, going right above that logo out there in left center. Probably close to 390, I would say, and the left center gap is 380. Then straightaway center 405, so probably right around 390 is Cale Baker as he puts a 2-spot here for the Settlers. That'll bring up the shortstop, Eddie Pena, as he takes his first pitch from Franklin for a strike. Eddie today is 1 for 2. Had a ground out in the 2nd and single, RBI single in the 4th. So he swings through that pitch and moves the count to no balls and 2 strikes. So Settlers not going away here. The 0-2 to Pena bounces in the dirt for ball number 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Settlers haven't had a bad day at the dish today. They've been able to put 9 hits up on the board, 6 runs. So not terrible for the Settler offense. It's 1-2 to Pena. Fouled off as he spoils a good pitch from the reliever in Franklin. That was the Settlers' problem early on, as they weren't able to get enough runs. 1-2 pitch bounces once again, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's either lost 7-2 to Southern Ohio, 7-3, 6-5. Had a 6-2 win, lost 9-5, lost 9-4 as that pitch swung on and missed by Pena for the first out of this top of the 6th with the strikeout. That'll be strikeout number 1 for Franklin in his first inning of work, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Dylan Ott. Dylan is 1 for 3 today. A strikeout in the first, a single in the third, later came around to score, and a fly out to center. So Dylan trying to set the table here for his heart of the order as that's flared down the right field line. Looks like it's going to get out of reach of the first baseman Holub, and it will stay in foul play. So Dylan just misses that one, but has life still. As that pitch came down in foul territory for strike number 1.
Yeah, I am getting into it.
A 1 from Franklin. Misses for a ball, so evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Back to Franklin. Had seen 1 appearance, only thrown 2 innings on the year. Hasn't given up a run until that Cale Baker home run. As that pitch laced into center. That'll be a single for Dylan Ott. That'll be his second single of the day. And once again, Settlers have a runner aboard. That'll bring up the designated hitter and 2-hole hitter in Sam Wilson. Sam has a pair of singles today. Single in the first, scored a run. Single in the fourth. It's an RBI single. And he also reached on an error by the third baseman, Blaine Krim. So he's reached base in all 3 of his at-bats in this ball game, and he has a chance to maybe do some damage with Dylan Ott standing on first base. Of course, you have the lefty in Franklin on the mound, so we'll have to watch what that does to the running game for the Settlers. That pitch laced into center field. That might get down. It will, as Dylan Ott's going to motor his way into third base. Wilson slides into second. Call from the umpire. Out, says the field umpire. So Wilson thrown out at second, trying to stretch a single into a double. A good relay from the center fielder, sunk into the shortstop Zazzaro, into the second baseman Weiner. And what looked to be a promising 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out. Now a runner at third with 2 outs. That'll bring up Miguel Pimentel. Miguel is 1 for 3 today. Had a single in the first, a ground out, then a fly out in the third and fourth innings. His first pitch taken low for a ball.
Thank you. Attendance.
So that pitch misses. 4-2.
No, it's the number of bombs I would
2 balls and no strikes to the right-handed hitter from Lee University.
Probably about 1,000. Probably about 30%.
So teammates facing each other right now. Franklin on the mound, Pimentel at the dish. So that pitch taken for a ball once again. 3 balls and no strikes to Pimentel. I'm sure these two have seen each other during live game action in practice. I'm sure they've seen each other in the cage. So definitely know a lot about each other. As that pitch taken for a strike. That'll move the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Imagine that Pimentel knows most of Franklin pitches. He's seen a lot of them, and Franklin knows Pimentel's strengths. So we'll see who comes out on top in this at-bat of bragging rights. That pitch laced into right field. That's going to get over the head of the right fielder Stewart off the wall as Ott will trot into home. And Pimentel has a 2-out RBI double. So Ott comes around to score. And the Settlers are almost right back in this. Only down by 6 right now, as they put up a 3-spot already in this inning. I'm going to bring up the cleanup hitter in Garrett Roberts. Roberts 1 for 2 today. He walked in the first, RBI single in the third, and grounded out back in the 5th. So he stands in with a runner in Pimentel over on second base and 2 away. That pitch taking for a strike to Roberts. Settlers down 10-2 at one point. Down 13-4 before this 3-run outburst. Trying to keep themselves staying afloat here as that curveball fouled off the catcher in Combs. Looks like he took it off the right bicep. As Roberts will go down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. With 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning, an offensive slugfest. 13-7, 20 total hits. It appears as if we'll probably get a handful more as we're only in the 6th inning. Already 20 runs across. 0-2 from Franklin. Swung on and slow chopper. It's going to get past the pitcher, and Franklin. Going to be a tough play for the third baseman, Krim, and he holds on to it. So an infield single for Roberts keeps this inning alive. Pimentel wisely going over to third base. That'll bring up the center fielder in Austin White. Austin had an RBI fielder's choice in the 1st inning. Grounded out on a 6 unassisted in the 3rd. And then grounded out on a 6-3 back in the 5th. So Austin looking for his first hit in a Settler uniform. This, as we've said, his first game. Got bit by the injury bug as he swings and misses through that first pitch from Franklin. Austin going to Fresno State University, one of 3 Bulldogs on this Licking County Settler roster. Didn't see a whole lot of action, only appeared in 13 games for the Bulldogs. So he fouls that pitch over the first base dugout, finds himself in a hole 0-2. He might be knocking off some cobwebs, shaking off some rust. Here's we've heard a lot of these guys before coming here hadn't played in about a month. It was always kind of a adjustment period coming back into live game action. The 0-2 swung on and missed as Franklin gets his 2nd strikeout of the inning. But the Settler is able to put a 3-spot up in that 6th inning, highlighted by the big home run from Cale Baker. They trail 13-7, head into the bottom of the 6th.
Merchandise completely free. See you at Athens City Pool on Monday at 8. And don't forget to stop by Kona Ice behind the press box on the third base side. Locally owned and operated by Rich Hayes of Athens. They offer tropical shaved ice in an assortment of flavors. And be sure to ask about their fundraising opportunities. Now, get on your feet, fans, and take a look to the edge of the infield where you will see Troy and a few friends about to compete in a foot race. Brought to you by Texas Roadhouse. Let's cheer them on.
Racing today in our mascot dash is Kona the Ice Penguin from Kona Ice and our very own Homer. Let's make some noise for him. You guys ready down there? On your mark, get set, go! Oh man, Kona is not going real fast. Homer is leaving him in the dust. He's high-stepping, he's got his hands on his face, and Homer is our winner. That was embarrassing, Kona. Thank you to Texas Roadhouse for supporting your Southern Ohio Copperheads and being part of our snake feeding program. Give it up for Homer one more time.
On the mound for the Settlers from Wittenberg University, number 23, Adam Mays.
It'll be Adam Mays taking the bump for the Settlers in the bottom half of the 6th inning. We relieve Max Schreiber. You can close the book on Schreiber. Went 2 1/3 innings pitched. Get this, gave up 5 runs. None of those were earned. 3 hits, 1 strikeout, and 4 walks for the right-handed reliever. So Adam Mays will take over now with the 8-9 one-hitters. Coming up, it'll be Scott Combs to lead it off. Scott has 2 single stays. He takes that first pitch in the dirt for a ball. Scott 2 for 3 today with those 2 singles. Also scored twice and has an RBI. So a productive day for the right-handed hitting catcher from Michigan State. Is that pitch in the dirt as well? It'll be 2 balls and no strikes. Adam Mays goes to Wittenberg University here in Ohio. He's from Oro Valley, Arizona. As that pitch fouled over the first base dugout, 2 balls and a strike here to Combs. Now you might be asking yourself, how does a kid from Arizona make it all the way to Wittenberg in Ohio? Well, the answer is that a lot of family members graduate from Wittenberg. So we thought he might as well follow in their footsteps, playing baseball there at the school, as he evens the count now to Combs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Settlers pull a 3 spot up in that 6th inning, looking to hold Copperheads scoreless as Combs shoots that ball into right field. Hill gives chase, going to settle under it after battling the sun. That'll be the 2nd inning in a row that the leadoff runner has been retired by this Settler pitching staff. They'll bring up the 9-hitter in Jack Longo, also playing left field. Jack is 0 for 2 today. He was hit by a pitch, came around to score in the 2nd, grounded out in the 3rd, and popped up in the 4th. So Jack, one of very few hitters, looking for his first hit today. As that pitch misses high. Good velocity on the fastball by Mays. He gets behind the count, 1 ball and no strikes. That pitch misses once again. Moves counts 2 balls and no strikes. Mays this year for Wittenberg appeared on the mound 15 times, all in relief. Was 1 and 4, had over 30 innings recorded, had 23 strikeouts. As that pitch skied into left center field, it looks like Austin White will call off Dylan Ott, and he will settle under it for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here for Mays in his first inning of work in this game. Fly out to right, now a fly out to center field. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Ty Sunken. Ty today is 0 for 1 in his 5th plate appearance. He has 3 walks and has scored 3 times. So every time he's gotten on, he's been able to find his way all the way around. So that pitch taken just above the letters for ball number 1. Settlers trail in this one 13-7, down 10-2 at one point, have chipped away, battled back, kept themselves staying afloat as that pitch taken for a strike. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. They're down 13-4 at one point as well before those 3 runs in that top half of the 6th. That pitch misses low. 2 balls and a strike to Ty Sunken. 2-1 for Mays. Misses high once again. He's been trying to paint that top half of the zone. Missed a couple times here. That's going to move the count to 3 balls and a strike to Sunken. As we said, Sunken 3 walks already today, 3-1. Fouled straight back. So that'll move it to full for the Bowling Green State outfielder. Settlers looking for their 2nd consecutive inning, holding this Copperhead team scoreless. The 3-2 swung on and laced into left field. No shot for Pimentel or Pena. Ott will pick it up and toss it back in. So that's the first hit of the day for Ty Sunken. He's 1 for 2 today. That'll put a runner aboard with 2 outs. That'll bring up the shortstop, Thomas Zazzaro. Zazzaro has 2 hits today. He's 2 for 3. That ground out in the first, 2 RBI double in the 2nd. walked and scored in the third. An RBI single in the fourth. So he stands in with a runner aboard, 2 outs. Pitch from Mays. Fouled off over the first base dugout onto that hill. Down the right field line. So Mays getting ahead in the count. Story of the game thus far has been walks and errors. Settlers with 3 errors in the field. As the runner goes, good hit and run. Finds Azaro, sunken. Going to be held up at third base. No, he's going to be waved in. Tough throw. Roberts cuts it off and sunken all the way from first.
How would you score that?
On the double.
How would you score that?
By Thomas Azaro.
Okay.
That pitch, excuse me, that throw from White looks like it missed the cutoff man, was way up that third base line, so good cutoff by Roberts. Thought he might have a play at home, but sunken, able to motor around. His third base coach looked like he wasn't going to wave him around, just kind of told him to go home, and that'll bring up Ray Zuber. Zuber has 3 hits today. He's 3 for 4. 2 singles, a home run, and a pop-up to the third baseman. Has 4 RBIs today as well, so a very productive day from the designated hitter from Western Kentucky. So that pitch misses on the outside. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So every time the Settlers answer, the Copperheads able to answer them right back. So that pitch skied into center. This should end the inning. White gets under it and makes the catch. So after the first 2 hitters were retired, back-to-back base hits by the top of the order, pushes 1 run across, pushes it back to a 7-run lead. As we head to the 7th, Southern Ohio leads 14-7.
In addition to being the only non-smoking hotel in Athens, hotel patrons can get a 10% off discount at Applebee's. Live the life, Holiday Inn Express. Ohio University Credit Union, your trusted financial services with over 60 years of experience. Fans, bring your attention to left field to our on-field host, Troy Lowe.
As I'm out here in left field with my man Hunter looking to do the Ohio Credit Union Home Run Challenge. This is Hunter's third time out here doing this challenge, and he's looking to go home a winner again. Let's see what you got, Hunter. Give it a shot. I didn't see that. I don't know what you're talking about. And Hunter is going home a winner! Thank you again to Hunter for his participation in the Ohio University Credit Union Home Run Challenge.
From Monroe Community College, number 10, Kazimir Sobazic.
6, 7, 8 here for the Settlers in the top of the 7th inning. Sobazic, Hill, and Baker due up. That first pitch from Sobazic swung on and missed. 4 strike number 1. Andrew Franklin still out on the bump for the Copperheads. So the pitch catches the outside corner. 4 strike number 2, so Sobazic in the hole right now. No balls and 2 strikes as he steps out. Wipes the sweat off, readjusts his helmet, and stands back in there against Franklin. The 0-2. Missed in the dirt. That one went about 54 feet before bouncing into the dirt. 1-2 will be the count now to Sobazic. Sobazic today 1 for 3. It's ground out, a strikeout, and a single. So that pitch flared into left field. Left fielder Longo coming on, and he will make the catch for out number 1. So leadoff hitter is retired. That'll bring up the right fielder, Turner Hill. Turner 1 for 3 today. Hit a ground out in the second. Fielder's choice in the fourth, reached base on. Later scored the third run of the game and led off the sixth inning with a double and came around to score then as well. So Turner, not too shabby of a day at the plate as he fouls that first pitch. Back for strike number 1. Hill, of course, from Malone College. Part of that 34-18 season with the Pioneers. He takes that pitch, just misses for a strike, but leaving the count at 1 ball and 1 strike here with 1 out. At the top of the 7th, Settlers down by 7. 1-1 from Franklin, taken right under the hands for ball number 2. 2 balls and a strike now. Story of the game has been errors by the Settlers have kept them behind for most of this game, and a lot of walks as well. 9 walks from the pitching staff, 3 errors from the fielders. That pitch taken low and outside moves the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Settlers have out-hit Copperheads 13-10. That pitch misses once again. 4 straight balls to Turner. That'll walk him right down to first base. And the Settlers have a runner aboard here with 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Looks like we're going to get a mound visit from the Copperhead. Coach is going to make a call to the pen, so we'll have that reliever for you when we come back. Top 7, Southern Ohio leads 14-7.
Copperheads from Lee University, number 17, Winston Whitener. Practice winning every day by making the right change. Snyder, Fuller, and Stroh will keep you in the mind first and help you win every day.
New pitcher on for the Copperheads. It'll be the right-handed hurler, Winston Whitener. Winston goes to Lee University. Teammates, obviously, with Andrew Franklin and Miguel Pimentel. And his first hitter he'll be facing will be Cale Baker. Cale came in as a defensive substitution in the bottom of the 5th inning for Chad Harper. Behind the plate, his first at-bat saw 1 pitch and put it over the left center wall for a 2-run home run as he takes that first pitch for a strike. So don't close the book on Franklin just yet as he walked Turner Hill as he stands over on first base. That pitch taken once again for a strike to Cale. Whitener making his second appearance on the year, pitched in that 12-4 win against the Sugar Beats 4 days ago. He's ahead 0-2 to Baker as Baker fouls that pitch out of play onto the patio. Nearly hit some fans standing under those Pepsi umbrellas enjoying a couple hot dogs on this Father's Day Sunday. Winston went 2 innings in that win, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 hits, no walks, 1 strikeout. He faced 10 hitters. He's up 0-2 to Baker. He misses low and outside for ball 1, moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Whitener with that sidearm delivery. got good velocity from that arm slot. That's 1-2 pitch. Runner goes in hill. Check swing from Baker. Umpire says, yes, he did, as Cale can't believe it, as he questions that call with the umpire. So Cale goes down swinging. Turner goes into second base with a stolen base. And there are 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning for the Settlers. We'll bring the number 9 hitter, Eddie Pena. Eddie 1 for 3 today. Had an RBI single in the 4th and has a strikeout and a ground out today. Looks like might have had an ejection down in that Settler dugout. Not sure who it was just yet. If it was Baker or Coach Poole. We'll try to find out for you here shortly, as Baker just struck out swinging, says the umpire. Try to check his swing.
It's all right, umpire. I'll just guess who got thrown out.
But 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning. 14-7 lead for the Copperheads. His first pitch to Pena misses high for a ball. Settlers have out-hit the Copperheads today, 13-10, but trail 14-7 on the scoreboard. Settlers have left 7 runners on base in this one. That pitch laced right to the second baseman in Weiner for out number 3. So good contact from Pena. Hang Wolfham to Weiner as we head to the bottom of the 7th. We're going to stretch here from Bob Wren Park. Copperheads lead 14-7.
Make sure to grab a Copperheads program for 20% off your next visit. Donato's is the exclusive pizza provider of the Southern Ohio Copperheads. With toppings loaded from edge to edge, Donato's Pizza will be sure to satisfy your hunger. Located at 688 East State Street in Athens, make Donato's your pizza of choice today. Order by calling 740-592-5049 or order online at donatos.com. Now fans, please stand, stretch, and join in singing an old ballpark classic, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Make sure to buy a split the pot ticket on the entrance plaza, or buy them from a designated uniformed snake wrangler. You can buy 1 ticket for $1 or 6 tickets for $5. The pot is now at $142. We'll be drawing the winning ticket in the middle of the 8th inning. I repeat, middle of the 8th inning.
Country roads echo throughout Bob Wren Stadium here in Athens, Ohio. We have a couple updates for you. Cale Baker was, in fact, ejected, so with only 2 catchers on the roster, it'll be Garrett Roberts behind the plate now. Garrett started the game at first base. Nathan Dill will replace him over at first. We also have a new pitcher on the mound. It will be Sam Stewart, so a lot of defensive adjustments here for the Settlers. That first pitch fouled straight back by Blaine Krim, the third baseman. Blaine today 0 for 2. He also has 2 walks on the day. Has not scored a run. One of 2 Copperheads that have not scored a run today. So that pitch chopped towards the shortstop, Eddie Pena. Eddie in the hole. Strong throw over to first. Safe. As Blaine Krim beats out the infield single. Great play by Eddie Pena to get that. And nice strong throw over to first base. But the speed of Krim puts him aboard on first base with his first base hit of the day. That'll bring up the first baseman, Blake Holb. Blake is 1 for 4 today. Had a double in the second. Hasn't had a hit since then. Had a fielder's choice, a ground out, and a pop out. So Holub comes up with a runner on first base and a 14-7 lead for his Copperhead team. That first pitch from Stewart taken for a strike. Stewart spent his time at Jefferson College in Missouri this year. He's going to transfer to Oral Roberts University this upcoming fall. That pitch taken for strike number 2. No balls and 2 strikes here to Holub. Stewart making his 3rd appearance on the season. So that pitch gets away from Roberts. And Blaine Krim will scoot over to second base off the pass ball. Roberts obviously in a tough position. Started this game at first base. Settlers only have 2 catchers on the roster. So, of course, Chad Harper started this game. Cale came in as a defensive replacement. And after the ejection, Roberts, next man up, as that ball chopped down third base line. Pimentel with the running throw. Going to be a tough play for Dill. Dill was not able to get his foot back on the base. He was able to snag that throw out of the air, and you see Coach Charlie Poole coming out to argue. Dill looked as if he got his foot back on the base, but not in time, says the field ump Charles Booth. As Poole not happy, visibly unhappy with the umpire right there. Coach Poole had a couple words after the Baker ejection, maybe letting off some steam right now as well, as his team down by 7 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So score that one, then E5 from our official score. And that'll put runners on first and second base here with nobody out. So after the last 2 innings, holding the Copperheads to only 1 run in those 2 innings, they look to put another crooked number up on the board. Scored 5 in the second, 5 in the third, 3 in the fourth. So that pitch taken for a strike. So Sam Stewart coming out of the pen, throwing strikes. Has appeared in 3 games online. Only it says he's appeared in 1. Still waiting for a game to get finalized from Thursday. So that pitch fouled back. So once again, Stewart ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. So some statistics might be a little off if you go on the online website. As I said, that game in Richmond has not been finalized, so they won't appear on the official stats online. The 0-2. Swung out and missed. Stewart gets his first strikeout today. And that'll put 1 away and bring up the second baseman, Noah Weiner. Noah does not have a hit today. He had a fielder's choice, scored on a pass ball in the second inning, struck out in the third, walked and scored in the fourth, and struck out in the fifth. So we look up and down this Copperhead lineup. Not too many guys without a hit. Copperheads with 11 hits today. That pitch misses outside for a ball. Copperheads 14 runs on 11 hits, have 2 errors. Settlers 7 runs on 13 hits with 4 errors. Stewart comes set, the 1-0. Swung on and skied straight up in the air. Roberts giving chase behind the plate. He's going to run out of room as that ball lands and bounces up into the camera well right behind home plate. Fans waiting for it to fall down the steps. There's a hole in that camera well to get up there, and some fans literally sit right below that waiting for that ball to come back down, but it has not, so it'll stay up there in that camera well, and we have a 1-1 count here to Weiner. That pitch taken for a strike, so Stewart coming out of the pen throwing strikes.
That was cheesy.
He closed the book on Adam Mays. He threw 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. No strikeouts, no walks. So not a bad inning of work for the Wittenberg product. So that pitch misses outside for a ball. Going to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Licking County been trailing the majority of the day. Took a 1-0 lead, and that was the last time they led as that pitch fouled back. Going to stay right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner over on second in Krim. Settlers led 1-0 after 1. Then after a 5 spot in the second. Would not see that lead again. That pitch pops straight up. Roberts is going to settle under it. Going to be an infield fly, but Roberts makes the play. Looking like a natural back there behind the dish on the pop out to the catcher. So 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Catcher Scott Combs coming to the plate. Scott has 2 hits today. He's 2 for 4. Had a single in both the 2nd and the 3rd innings. Scored on both those. Had an RBI mixed in there as well. Grounded out in the 4th and flew out in the 6th. So Scott looking for his 3rd hit of this ball game. First pitch from Stewart. Misses outside for a ball. Scott came in today only having 1 hit. So he's already put up 2 today. Opportunity for a 3rd. 1-0 pitch from Stewart. Catches the inside corner for strike number 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. Stewart looking to hold the Copperheads scoreless for only the 3rd inning today. The 1st and the 5th saw no runs put up by the Copperheads. As that pitch popped up, it's going to be Nathan Dill giving chase with Garrett Roberts. Roberts not able to make the play. A tough run for Roberts. It looked like Dill was going to settle under that. That probably would have been an easier play for him coming straight in. Roberts probably made it about 3/4 down that first base line, but couldn't quite make the sliding catch, so Combs stays alive. However, is down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes as Stewart looks to end this 7th inning. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 2nd strikeout of the inning for Sam Stewart, and he gets out of the 7th unscathed. When you head to the 8th, Copperheads lead 14-7.
And it is now time for today's Launch of All. Brought to you by Stephanie Wood with Ohio Realty. Let Stephanie Wood launch you and your family into your new home.
Okay, fans, you're going to have 15 seconds to launch those tennis balls, and the closest one to Homer's feet is going to be going home as our winner. I see you back there. We'll give you guys enough time to throw them. All right, throw them in 3, 2, 1. Let's see what you got. That's a cannon right there. That's twice in a row. We got some of those. Look at these. Oh, my goodness. And our winner tonight is 129. 129. Thanks again to everybody who participated in our launch ball, brought to you by Stephanie Wood with Ohio Realty. And our winning number is 129 one last time.
The top of the order here in the 8th inning for the Settlers, Dylan Ott, Sam Wilson, and Miguel Pimentel. Due up for the Settlers. They try to cut into this 7-run deficit. His first pitch from Whitener, taken for a ball. Dylan today is 2 for 4, has 2 singles, also scored 2 runs. So pitch taken on the inner half for a strike, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 from Whitner. Grounded down the third base line, just missing that bag. Move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So after Whitener was able to get out of that 7th inning, close the book on Andrew Franklin, he went 1 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, all being earned, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. As that pitch lays right back at Whitener. He takes it right off the chest, going to try to throw Ott out, but safe, says the first base umpire. That was an absolute scorcher by Dylan Ott right into the gut of Whitener. He's going to get checked on by his coaches. Looked like he might have been able to deflect it with his glove. I don't believe it actually hit any part of his body, as his teammates motioned to his coaches that he's all right. I'm still going to go out there and check on him anyway. Scary spot to be in. That ball laced right off the bat of Dylan Ott. And Whitener really had nowhere to go. You might say try to get out of the way, but I think he hit him right about belt level, right square, maybe belly button area. Good thing Whitener, a tall, imposing presence on the mound. He's 6'5", so had he been 6 feet, that might have been more of chest level. So very fortunate for Whitener to come up with that one uninjured. That'll bring up designated hitter Sam Wilson. He swings through that first pitch. Sam has 3 hits today. He's 3 for 4. Reached on base in all 4 plate appearances. Reached on an error in the 3rd. Scored a run in the 1st. So Sam's been doing a little bit of everything at the plate. He takes that pitch for a ball. That'll even count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 14 hits for the Settler hitters today. Only 7 runs to show for it. Also have 5 errors in the field as Dylan Ott gets a great jump as he slides in to second base. Probably didn't even need to slide. As you see the shortstop, Cesaro, having a little bit of fun with him, pretended to tag him as Ott slid in on the ball that got to the backstop. So that'll be a ball to Wilson, 2-1 count. Give Ott the stolen base. Settler's not bad on the base pass this year. That was the 14th team stolen base. They're about 87, 88% as a team. Only been caught stealing twice this year, so always a team looking to run. Just count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes, and doing it very successfully. Jacob Margroff, of course, has 4 stolen bases. Well as Kaz Sobozic has 4 as well. As that ball hit down the third base line, it's going to be a tough play. Foul ball, says the home plate umpire. That was very, very close. It looked like it might have hopped over that third base bag. It's where it goes over, so umpire Justin Mann says it crossed in foul territory. Blaine Krim probably wasn't going to have a play as he bobbled it. Good speed from Wilson would have put him aboard with potentially his 4th hit of the game. 2-2 from Whitener. That pitch swung on and missed. Strike number 3 for Sam Wilson as he heads back to the dugout for the first time today.
Batting from Lee University,
Gonna bring up
number 30,
Miguel Pimentel, the third baseman.
Pimentel.
Miguel has 2 hits today. He's 2 for 4. First inning had a single, ground out in the third, fly out in the fourth, and a double in the sixth. So Pimentel looking for his third hit today. First pitch from Widener. Ott thought about going, ball fouled. Looked like he might have tipped the brim of the helmet by Pimentel. So that hit the ground first, bounced right back up at his face, and you've seen very rarely, but every now and again, you'll see a guy take a foul ball, comes right back off his face. You can definitely tell from battle wounds, maybe a little bit of blood, but thankfully not there, as Ott nearly gets hit in the back of the head as Widener threw a fastball on that pickoff. Just missed the helmet of Ott. Ott started and stopped last time, maybe getting a good read off the cadence from Widener, thinking about trying to steal third, but Widener trying to keep him close. The 0-1 gets past the catcher Combs, then Ott will trot over to third base off the wild pitch by Widener. So Ott in scoring position once again, looking to score his 3rd run today. Pimentel at the dish right now. Pitch to Pimentel. Hits him on the ankle. That definitely did not feel good, as Pimentel taking it right off the left ankle as he goes to first base. Probably a little bit of pain. So I'm going to put runners at the corners with only 1 away. Garrett Roberts stepping up in the batter's box now. Roberts 2 for 3 today. Walked in the first, RBI single in the third. Also had a single in the 6th inning. He threw in the ground out in the 5th, but nonetheless, good day for Roberts at the dish. Obviously behind the plate now, as well as the Settlers ran out of catchers. That pitch nearly hit him. He had to limbo out of the way out of that one. And he's in the head in the count. 1 ball and no strikes.
Roberts is a big old boy.
1-0. Big swing from Roberts. Couldn't get a piece of it. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Roberts had summer offers to play in Florida, but decided to stay home and play for a team close to him, as that ball laced into left field for an RBI single from Garrett Roberts. So Roberts continues his hot hitting as he has yet another RBI. Dylan Ott comes around to score for the 3rd time today, and the Settlers have their 8th run of the ball game. Gonna bring up Austin White to the plate. Austin is hitless today. He's 0 for 4, had a fielder's choice, an RBI fielder's choice in his first at-bat. Grounded out in both the 3rd and the 5th innings and struck out in the 6th. Big strikeout as he left a couple runners aboard. That pitch misses his head. Widener not afraid to come inside. So we saw Pimentel get hit. Roberts nearly gets hit, and White following suit as he had to duck his head out of the way of that one. 1-0 from Widener. Misses inside, 2 balls and no strikes. So Settlers down to their last 5 outs of this game. They trail by 6. So that pitch misses once again, 3 balls and no strikes. So Widener struggling with control this inning. Ott led off this inning with a single. Got Wilson on the 2-2 strikeout, hit Pimentel, and the RBI single by Roberts. And here we are with White as that ball gets away, but it is ball 4. So that'll load him up for Kaz Sobozic. Sobozic today is 1 for 4. Hit a ground out in the first, single in the 4th, strikeout in the 5th, and a fly out in the 7th. So big spot for Sobozic, because it looks like we're going to get a mound visit here. Pimentel stands on 3rd, Roberts on 2nd, White over on 1st.
Hi, how are you today, Phil? I'm doing well.
Settlers just trying to get a couple more across here. I mean, if you look at it, down 14-8 right now. Maybe push 2-3 more across. Put some pressure on the Copperheads there in that 9th inning. We get to maybe 14-11 coming out of this inning. That would be maybe worst case scenario. Obviously, worst case would be 14-8 after this inning, but wishful thinking if they can put 3 across here. That would put them within 3 going into the 9th, assuming they hold the Copperheads scoreless in the bottom half of this inning. A lot of runs today. 22 total runs, 26 hits. It's a pitch taken for a strike after 4 straight balls from Whitener. It's a pitch chopped towards the first baseman and Holub. That'll get a run across, so it'll be an RBI ground out on the 3 unassisted for Sobozic. That'll bring up Turner Hill, the right fielder. Turner has 1 hit today. He's 1 for 3. Had a ground out in the 2nd, fielder's choice. Later scored on in the 4th. Hit a double in the 6th, scored on that as well. And then walked last inning in the 7th. So Turner taking his first pitch for a strike in a big spot here. 2 guys aboard, like we said. Maybe get 2 more runners across here. Set yourself up a little bit better in that 9th inning as that pitch misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a pitch hit to the right side. Going to be a tough play for the second baseman, Weiner. He scoops it and throws it over to first base. So damage limited here by Whitener in the 8th inning. But the Settlers do push 2 runs across the board as they head to the bottom half of the 8th. Copperheads lead 14-9.
Be sure to meet us there before and after every game. From your pint to your plate, Jack Davis proudly presents over 40 beers on draft, produced right here in Athens. Newly remodeled public house and kitchen menu uptown. In-house bakery, 22-acre farm and taproom facility. Lunch specials and locally sourced dinners 7 days a week. 100-person patio out uptown. Learn more at jackios.com, Instagram, or Facebook today. After the game, be sure to stop by Jackios Uptown or the tap room on Campbell Street. Just because the game ended doesn't mean your night has to. Jackios, the official pregame and postgame sponsor of your Copperheads. Now, fans, please direct your attention to Troy, who's located in the stands looking to find our Split the Pot winner.
Fans, if you participated in our Split the Pot promotion, it's time to get out those lucky tickets. Our winner is going home with $53. And our winner is 2307869. Again, it is 2307869. You guys can go see Logan under the merchandise tent to claim your earnings.
Batting from Ohio University, number 10, Jack Longo.
9-1-2 here in the bottom half of the 8th. For the Copperheads, it'll be Jack Longo, Ty Sunken, and Thomas Zazzaro to face the right-handed pitcher in Sam Stewart. First pitch from Stewart, nowhere close, and he might have slipped on that mound. He kind of took a little bit of a hop after releasing that one, so let that one slip a little bit to Longo. Longo does not have a hit today. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd, came around to score. Had a ground out in the 3rd and a pop out in the fly out in the 4th and the 6th. So that pitch misses as well for a ball. So 2 balls and no strikes. The left-handed, or excuse me, the right-handed hitting left fielder. That pitch just misses that outside corner. Longo was able to check his swing. Looked like he wanted to offer at it, but was able to keep that bat head back and now stands 3-0. Stewart catches his own there for a strike. Looking around the league today, the Xena Scouts beat the Hamilton Joes 7-4. Muskegon Clippers beat the Lake Erie Monarchs also 7-4. 3-1 pitch misses on the inner half for ball number 4. So it'll be a walk for Longo. There's the 10th walk today, given up by the Licking County pitching staff. So walks have been a big problem. Errors another problem. 5 errors for the Settlers today. They have 15 hits, scored 9 runs. You would think that would put them within shouting distance, but trail this one 14-9 as runner Longo goes. Roberts tries to throw him out. As that pitch called a strike gets into center field. Longo opting not to go to third base on that one. So pitch to Sunken was a strike. Longo gets a good jump and gets the stolen base. And he's over to second. So nobody out. Sunken at the dish. Sunken 3 walks today. He also has a single, so he's 1 for 2. So that pitch catches the outside corner. Those count to no balls and 2 strikes. Grand Lake Mariners beat the St. Clair Green Giants 8-2. 3 games still in action. Irish Hills Leprechauns and the Cincinnati Steam tied at 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Muskegon Clippers and the Lake Erie Monarchs are playing a doubleheader day, so they're in the bottom of the 5th. Muskegon leads 5-1, and the Saginaw Sugar Beets and the Lima Locos are tied at 3 in the bottom of the 5th as well. As that pitch called strike 3 to Sunken. Looks like you might have thought that was a ball, as he has a couple words for the home plate umpire as he heads back towards the dugout, but that'll be strikeout number 3 for Sam Stewart. First one looking. That'll bring up Thomas Zazzaro. Zazzaro is 3 for 4 today. Has a double, 2 singles, 3 RBIs, and has scored actually only once. So kind of shocking, a guy that's been on base 4 times, only come around to score once, but has done his damage at the plate. Stewart checks the runner in second, and the runner does go. Throw by Roberts, ball called. Good pick by Pimentel on the throw down to third base, but Longo gets his 2nd stolen base here, and he now stands 90 feet away from scoring. So Jack Longo over at third base. Thomas Zazzaro at the dish. He's ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 from Stewart. Swung on and missed. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Miami's AAA team is the New Orleans Baby Kings.
Zazzaro from Lee University. We've seen a lot of Lee University guys on this Copperhead team. Of course, Miguel Pimentel, the lone flame, as that pitch flared into shallow right center as the second baseman Sobozic comes under it. Checks the runner in Longo back to third base and runs this ball back into the infield. So the pop out induced by Stewart. He now has 2 consecutive outs. That'll bring up the designated hitter in Ray Zuberer.
Western Kentucky, number 5, Ray
Zuberer in the DH spot today from Western Kentucky. He's got 3 hits today as well. 2 singles, 1 in the 1st and the 4th. Had a big 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. Has a pop out and a fly out. Let's go along with that. So there's been some discussions that he'll be the Copperheads player of the game. What I'm getting from the press box here. So that pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. It's a good job by Stewart after that leadoff walk. Really battle back and keep pounding that zone. 0-1, swung on, laced down that right field line. Watch out. The little kids down there over the hill. They just took down that big inflatable out there, so some of the kids still trying to jump on top of it, help out. The interns here letting some air out of that inflatable, make their job a little bit easier here tonight. Been a long, hot and humid Father's Day as that pitch misses for a ball, moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. See a lot of dads out here in the crowd today enjoying some baseball on their day. That pitch catches his own. 2 strikeouts here in the inning. That's number 4 for Stewart as he sets down the Copperheads for the 2nd consecutive inning scoreless as we head to the 9th. Last chance for the Settlers coming up. They trail by 5.
Now we'd like to say thank you to Kroger, located on 919 East State Street, for providing our post-game meal to our players and coaches. Now on the mound from St. Edward's University, number 15, Austin Weaver.
Last chance for the Settlers. Here in the top of the ninth inning, there'll be a new pitcher on the mound for the Copperheads in Austin Weaver. Austin from Georgetown, Texas, goes to St. Edward's University, making his third appearance in a Copperhead uniform. Batter is going to be Nathan Dill. Dill takes strike number one as Dill in the game, replacing Baker, who replaced Harper. Baker was ejected earlier in this game, so he had to come out as Dill takes that one for a strike. Settlers left with no catchers left, so Roberts had to go behind the dish, and Dill replaced him at first base. So Dill down 0-2 in his first plate appearance, takes that pitch high and inside for a ball. Nathan Dill hitting just under 300 on the year, has a 444 on base percentage, so he gets on base. That pitch taken in the dirt once again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nathan Dill stands in there 6'4". Big imposing presence in that right-handed batter's box. The 2-2. Swung on and missed by Dylan. Weaver has his first strikeout. Has 1 up, 1 down. Then to bring up the shortstop, Eddie Pena. Eddie today has 1 hit. He's 1 for 4. Has a ground out in the second, an RBI single in the fourth, strikeout in the sixth, and a pop out in the seventh. So we'll step in to face Austin Weaver. Austin, so in 4 innings, it's a 2.25 ERA. He's 1-0. 2 strikeouts, now 3. 3 walks and 2 hits as that first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Settlers have 15 hits today. That pitch swung on and missed from Pena. 15 hits, 9 runs, 5 errors. Copperheads 14 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. Errors were a big factor today, as well as walks hit by pitch. Pena checked his swing, appealed down to first base. No, he did not. Then moved to count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Settler pitching staff conceding 11 walks. That pitch grounded to Cesaro at short. He fields, fires over to first base in time to retire Pena. So first 2 hitters seen by Weaver have been retired. Let her bring up the top of the order in Dylan Ott. Dylan has 3 hits today. He's 3 for 5. The strikeout in the first, has singles and runs scored. The third, the 6th, and the 8th. Also has a stolen base in there as well. Had a fly out, but a productive day for the Settlers' leading hitters. He takes that first pitch inside for a ball. Like we said, Settlers had opportunities. Have left about Let's count them here. 10 base runners on base. So left a lot of guys on base, as we've seen a lot in these games. But we're still able to put up a 9 spot. Just the defensive side of the ball, pitching side, not all there today. Settlers giving up 11 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 5 errors. It's not a recipe for successes. Ott works the 4-pitch walk, so he'll be on first base for the 4th time today.
From Wabash Valley College,
I'll bring up the designated hitter in Sam Wilson. Sam has a trio of singles today. Had 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th, and 1 in the 6th. Has an RBI, reached on an error in the 3rd, and struck out in the 8th. So he's been on base 4 out of his 5 at-bats today. Last chance for the Settlers. Ott over on first. That pitch misses low in the dirt. So 5 consecutive balls thrown by Weaver. 1-0. Swung on and fouled back. 4 strike 1, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So you start to hear the slow clap from the Copperhead faithful here, looking for one final out as that pitch grounded down the 3rd baseline, but it will be foul. So Settlers down to their final strike here with Sam Wilson at the dish. If Wilson can get on, it'll be Miguel Pimentel. Pimentel 2 hits today. He's also hit by a pitch. The 1-2 swung on and flared right over to the 3rd baseman in Krim's head. And that will be a 2-out single as Ott considered going to 3rd, but was held up by Coach Howell over there at 3rd base. So Settlers with 2 runners aboard here with 2 outs. It'd be Miguel Pimentel. Miguel, a single, a double, and a hit by pitch. Also add in a ground out and a fly out there as well. So Pimentel last chance for the Settlers. Once again, they trail by 5. This game approaching the 3-hour mark as that pitch swung on and missed by Pimentel. It's a 5:37 official start time, closing in on 8:37 as that pitch taken inside for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Number 11.
That hit by Wilson, 16. As that pitch hit into left center gap, left fielder Longo going back on the run, makes the catch. A tough running catch by the left fielder in Longo, and that will end the game. Your final score, 14-9. Copperheads move to 6-1 on the season. Licking County, drops to 2-6. Licking County back in action on Tuesday when they head to Xena to take on the Scouts. That one is a 7:05 first pitch. Make sure to check our YouTube stream to see if we'll be out there in Xena. We hope to broadcast that one for you live. Of course, as always, thank you for watching. Final score, Settlers fall 14-9.